Cry loud. Spare not. Lift up your voice like a see? So wow. Why you always gotta be in there in the time we doing it real time?
Ooh. You. That ain't even him.
Oh, that's not me. Shabbat shalom. Let's rock on Facebook, man. Oh man, I've been waiting for this. We on Demon of Gaul Part 2. Mark, are you holding it right? The last time my head was cut off, bro. You see everybody in here.
That wasn't me.
Yeah, talk about that wasn't me. When it happened, that wasn't me. Your speech betrays you so far.
Intentionally.
We are talking about a very, very, very vital teaching. Last time we went on Demon of God Part 1, Renouncing Christianity. This time we on Demon of God Part 2. Christianity is not our sister religion. We are not the same. Yes, I came up with that, boy. That is right on point. We are not the same. It is not sister religion. And trust me, we'll be talking about Islam and stuff later. And we are not a religion. And we are not a religion.
That's right.
Because we're going to start at the heart of this one. Emperor Constantine.
Oh my goodness.
Christians will lie and say that he is not the father of Christianity, but he is. He is. And then we're going to go into the depth of this. We're going to be in scripture. We're going to give scripture, but I want you to understand that when YAHUAH sent his Nabiim, his prophets, his Shalakim, or the ones who walked with him, his apostles, when he sent them, they knew what was happening in their time. Right. That's why he said, for there's an anti-Mashiach to come, but right now there are many anti-Mashiachim or anti-Messiahs. Right. You know, King James says Antichrist. Right. But they had already seen that the spirit was already, at a point of taking over what was the truth. Right. Man, before we go into this, tell you want to lead us in Abba's prayer? And always your palau to Abaryt Yahshar'alym.
Abinu, Shva Tashmayi, Yitkara Shimha, Tavo Mahuteha, Deasev Resonha, Abaryt Yahshar'alym, Asha Bashmayi, Tananum Hayam Lukam Kenu, Attachmenu Attachmenu, Ada says Kimanatan, Asha Spolanu, who ought to be Lanu Madevasa, Gain Hasilani. Minhara, Gelakan, Hamalaka, Watabora, Watapilip, Beme Omni, Urakata, Adonai YAHUAH, Malaka Ola. Amen.
Awesome. Our Father, who lives in the skies, Kadesh be your name. Your kingdom comes, your will be done, on earth as it is in the skies. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom and the power and the esteem forever. Exalted are you, our master, YAHUAH.
You, YAHUAH.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. King of the universe forever. Amen. The truth. This right here is the truth. And the reason why I say this, and I know this, is this. We have been led by his spirit. He's speaking to us by his spirit, leading us to all truth. If this is not the truth, why did they make so many efforts to hide it? Right. Why couldn't you just open this book up and find the name Yahushua? Right. Why couldn't you open up the book and find the name YAHUAH? Mm-hmm. Why couldn't you open this book up and find so many things? We was just talking about how it's errors in the King James Version. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that there's errors. I think that the Masoretic text, the Masoretic Jews were actually putting in falsehood to keep us cursed. Right. Because they knew who we were. Right. They knew who we are. And I want to reiterate that again. This message comes in love. And it comes in, don't focus so much on knowing who you are more than knowing who YAHUAH is. Right. Because you can know who you are and know we the children of Yahshua, but if you don't keep to his Torah and be obedient to his commandments, you still lost. Right.
Time.
You know what I'm saying? We got people out here talking about universal knowledge and horoscopes and voodoo. It's all this stuff. But the main focus I want to touch on, and I'm talking to, is Christianity. Because Christianity is starting to realize who they are too. Why? Because YAHUAH promised that the awakening will happen. Whether you are in the Hebrew,
See there?
the Abaryt, Christianity, Islam, no matter where his people have been scattered all over the world, there are awakening happening. I gotta show you, and I pasted in this thing. Time magazine just put out a magazine talking about the spiritual awakening, and it's got somebody sitting in the yoga pose. It's not even a person. It's the colors of the colors of yoga with dots in the inside the person glowing, and it's talking about the spiritual awakening. Why? Why is all this stuff coming out at the same time? Black Panther and all this stuff is timing.
Right.
Hashatan is strategic. He's been fighting us for millions of years.
That's right.
So don't just act like he just throwing stuff out there to see if we'll catch it.
Right.
He has watched mankind, and he knows how to hunt for us.
Right.
That's why it says, for your enemy goes about as a roaring lion.
Can I say something, sir?
Go ahead.
Just like we in the body of a Kadesh body together, as living stones together.
Right.
And together, we are built up to esteem Yahuwah. Hashatan is a mockery. And that awakening you talking about, his children is waking up to esteem him.
Come on,
which will build up and make that anti-Mashiach. You got small anti-Mashiachs right now, but they will make the grand anti-Mashiach with that spiritual awakening.
That's right. That's right. So, and that's a great point. You've had many come throughout time, but at the end, it's going to be a grand finale. Watch this. Satan is calling it the grand climax now. Just like we do our feast and we keep Sukkot, and then the 8th day is the last great day unto YAHUAH to represent his coming. They have a grand climax they do every year. Waiting, they master Hashatan. It was a girl who sent it to me one time. She said, I said, man, I ain't watching that video. She said, but when the guy comes out on stage, he begins to call the angel. You get what I'm saying? That fell. That's what he calling them to the earth.
Wow.
And it's called the grand climax. They do it over there in Sweden and Norway and all that. They know. But see, it says Yahshar'alym is lost. You get what I'm saying? The donkey knows his crib. The ox knows his master. But Yahshar'alym does not know. He does not consider.
Right.
So as we're scattered throughout, Christianity is starting to have this sense of awakening too. That's why you see all these pastors and leaders wearing dashikis now. You get what I'm saying? They're trying to use some more of the Hebrew words and look into their roots. Why? Because it's something in them that's saying, hey, these guys may be telling the truth. Because the Spirit is trying to lead them to the truth.
Buying trumpets.
But they resisting it for filthy lucre.
Yeah.
For dirty money. So they resisting it from the money. Every time they go to seek the truth, more money get poured on them.
Right.
And it's that money that's making them fall. That's why Yahushua clearly said, you cannot serve YAHUAH and mammon. Mammon is the actual term for the demon of money. Juno Maneto. Ain't that something? Yeah. It's the actual term for that demon. Wow. So he was saying you can't serve two masters. Why? You either gonna love one and hate the other. You get what I'm saying? That's you gonna totally deny everything that it is when you seeking it. Because even if you find that YAHUAH is the truth, what he say? Whether if you give me $1,000 right now, I still won't follow. Why did he bring up money for the truth? Right. See there? Man. Let's go into it. Let's go into it. The demon of God. Christianity is not our sister religion. We're going to take time with this. And we're going to make sure that you're getting an understanding of what we're talking about. Because you got Hebrews who feel like that Christianity is still their sister religion. So they'll say, well, on their Facebook posts and all this, JC is not the name. But as soon as another pastor come in saying JC, they receive it. Yeah. They openly receive it.
And part of that got to do with the fact that they came out of Christianity. But everybody that's in this truth, they just come out of Christianity. You got people that came out of Kemet teaching, people that came out of atheism, people that came out of Islam.
Come on.
You know, so it's not just Christianity that everybody came out to find the truth. It wasn't on the way that we came out into the truth.
Right. And see, with that being said, the way it's being received from Christianity it's just like this. Oh, so you call him Yahushua, but I call him JC, but it's still the same book. so I can do it the same way. No, it don't work like that. You get what I'm saying? Because the Torah and the prophets are the main factor in following the commandments of the Most High and being saved at the end, to endure to the end and be saved.
We're saved now?
We're not saved now.
Oh, man.
Ain't no get saved.
Oh.
You're not saved now. You're not saved at this time. You must endure until the end and be tried in the fire as pure gold.
And it ain't no prayed up.
You ain't prayed up. You can't fill it up like a gas tank. He says pray without ceasing.
Right.
You got to always continue to pray.
Right.
You fill up your gas tank.
Oh.
You can't be prayed up. All right.
Why you gotta say gas?
That's the only thing I thought about.
I mean, you know.
Emperor Constantine. That's who we're going to talk about. The father of Christianity. Ak is going to read the Constantinian Creed later. I'm going to read this part and I'm going to let Ak have it. And we're going to come back into why he has such a tie into this. But listen to this about this man.
Let's go.
Emperor Constantine, known as Saint Constantine the Great. Emperor, confessor, and equal to the apostles.
So they made him a saint and equal to the
venerated,
apostles.
equal to the apostles. Boy, he's venerated in the Eastern Orthodox Church, the Catholic Church, Oriental Orthodoxy, Coptic Orthodox Church, that's Egyptian, when you hear Coptic, by the way. Lutheran Church, major shrine, that's where he's buried. Church of the Holy Apostles in Constantinople, which is modern-day Istanbul or Turkey. His feast is celebrated on May 21st.
He got a feast.
See there? His feast is celebrated on May 21st. That's our New Year comes in on the 20th. See there?
You said no, that's March.
You said May.
Oh, March. Hey, right.
Come on,
That's around Mother's Day.
Yeah, May 21st, not March 21st. I don't think it's
That's
March.
around March.
May 21st.
Oh, that isn't March.
That's the Maypole stuff. But May 21st. Thank you, Steph. Thank you for catching that. And I was thinking March the whole time, even when I read it last night.
Oh, good gracious.
Constantine was the first Roman emperor to convert to Christianity. Now I'm breaking down Christianity. I'll go back in there. First Roman emperor, then see this the lie, to convert to Christianity. Like Christianity was the truth. Listen to how this was in here. Now, when we go to Christianity, the definition of Christianity, this is what I did last night. Christianity. It says it is an Abrahamic faith.
Okay.
Or Abrahamic belief. That's what they say.
Okay.
It is now the world's largest religion with over 2.4 billion followers.
What happened to the narrow road?
I'm finna read it. See there? YAHUAH, Matthew 7:13. I'm going to read through 15. Pay attention to this.
7:13.
Listen to this. Wait, but I'm going to go to 12 first.
7 and 12.
Therefore, all things whatsoever you would that men should do to you, do you even to them. For this is the Torah and the prophets.
Oh,
They call it a golden rule, but he used the Torah and the prophets. This is a sapphire rule. Boy. Enter ye in at the narrow gate.
Right.
For wide is the gate, and broad is the way, like Broadway, like the shows. They got the Book of Mormon on Broadway right now. I send it to you. The Book of Mormon is on Broadway right now. The play. But broad is the way that leads to destruction.
Oh, no.
The gate is
Christianity is the world's largest religion with over 2.4 billion followers, or 33% of the world's population are known as Christians. Christians make up the majority of the population in about 2/3 of the countries and territories in the world. Christianity has played a prominent role in the shaping of Western civilizations.
Now, is that
I'm going to go back and visit that in a second.
No, it's not narrow.
Broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many there be which will go in it.
Many? That's many right there.
This book.
That's many.
Because narrow is the gate,
Okay.
and troublesome is the way that leads to life. And few there be that find it.
How many?
Few.
Okay.
Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing. But inwardly they are ravening wolves. You shall know them by their fruits.
Okay.
Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree brings forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree brings forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that brings not forth good fruit is cut down
in the fire
and cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruits you shall what? Know them. This is Yahushua breaking down that this way has to be thin. I've heard a Christian pastor, Rob Bell, say many teach that the way of Christianity is supposed to be narrow. No, it's a broad way. Yeah, he told him on Oprah. I can pull it up. I give you all the links. It's a broad way. And everybody's like, yeah, that's true. It's broad. It's wide. He was reversing what Yahushua said. Let me tell you something. Every time Yahuwah speaks, if he speaks you a commandment, Hashatan is designed to give you the counterfeit.
Reciprocal.
If Yahuwah told us all, do not wear yellow.
Man, I was just thinking the same thing.
See? Do not wear yellow. They would, if right now, everybody would be wearing yellow every single day. The whole world would be full of yellow. Because he told you not to wear it.
Right.
Every commandment he gets, he's wearing. He's looking at your shoes, Doc. Mark funny. Every commandment that Yahuwah gives, Hashatan has a counterfeit.
Yes.
Put not your trust in man. That's the commandment. But the counterfeit is trust every man and talk to you.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? I'm going there for a reason. We see that by its own definition, Christianity has 2.4 billion followers. That's big.
That's huge.
That's huge. That's not a narrow way. Because he said, because that word troublesome in the Abaryt means hard pressed, meaning you got to kind of maneuver to get through it. It's such a narrow way.
That way ain't hard.
It's kind of, you maneuver. Yeah, it's not troublesome or hard in the sense of hard to do. He's saying that you got to squeeze, right? You
get the oil out
see
the
that?
olive.
Yeah.
You are pressed like wine too, because we are grapes in the kingdom of Yah. That little kid be saying that, boy. Boy, I like this song. Anyway, that's Yahuwah's king. Anyway, but it's like grapes being pressed and refined for the pureness of his wine. It's not hard as for us to keep it, but it's a maneuvering that has to happen in your life in order to make it in. In order to get through this narrow way, there's some if you going through a narrow way, let's say you got some excess keys and stuff you don't need. You're gonna have to get some of this stuff off of you to get through there. And so at the time of going through this narrow way, there's things on you that need to start coming off so that you can make it through the narrow gate.
Even some things you like.
Even some things you like. It's narrow, he said. Man. But see, in Christianity, you ain't got to take off nothing. Why? You can be as big as Fat Albert and go straight through there. Just bounce through.
That's right.
Remember him on Nutty Professor when he got there?
Yeah. Hey.
Just bouncing through.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You don't have to take off nothing in Christianity.
No.
It's wide. Everybody accepted. Right now, they doing Bloody Bunny everywhere. You know what Bloody Bunny is if you ain't talking to me. With your eggs hiding in your paint body. I ain't saying it. That's a deity name. But they doing Bloody Bunny everywhere. Right. Every culture, every religion. It says in every country they're doing it. So let's go. Bunny Day.
Bunny Day.
It has nothing to do with any resurrection or anything. Unless you talk about being resurrected as a bunny. See there? Although he lived most of his life as a pagan. Constantine, listen to this.
Most of his life.
Although he lived most of his life as a pagan, he joined the Christian belief on his deathbed. I'll show you some contradictions in even this. This is the truth right here. He joined the Christian belief on his deathbed, being baptized by Eusebius of Nicodemia. The papacy, we know who the Nope is, or who they call the Pope, claimed to be the temporal power in the high Middle Ages and was based on the donation of Constantine. Now this is what it is. The donation of Constantine is a forged, meaning fake Roman imperial decree by which the 4th century emperor, Constantine the Great, supposedly transferred authority over the Rome and the western part of Rome, of the Roman Empire to, I wrote this down, that's why I laughed. Dun, dun, dun. I wrote it out. The Nope, or the Pope. So they say when Constantine died on his deathbed, after accepting Christianity, they forged a decree by him. And said that all the power that Constantine set upon was given to the Nope. Listen to this, man. And now we see the Roman Catholic Church lied about the donation of Constantine's power. Then let's hear the other major lie of the Roman Catholic Church. Now I'm gonna go into that major lie, but I want Ark to give us the Constantinian Creed. Now this Constantine Creed is not written by Constantine himself physically, but by the authority of Constantine given to the Roman Catholic Church. You get what I'm saying? Constantine loved being a pagan.
Yes, he did.
He didn't accept this until his deathbed. You can see that on death row. When somebody's on death row, what they call it? One of them priests. They give you a steak, your greens, and the priest just standing there waiting. All that foolishness. And then you give your napash, give your being over to the Roman Catholic Church so that your mama and them can pay them to get you out of the pit into purgatory for the rest of their life.
Wow.
It's all a trap. So see, they knew this too. So let's meet Constantine. We know he's about to die. Let's meet him, and on his deathbed, we baptize him by Eusebius of Nicodemus, and then he shifts the power to guess who? Us. Now we the power as the Catholic Church through Constantine. He was one of the most powerful emperors. So how do we get this power? This is why I say he's the father of Christianity, because the Catholic Christian idea had already existed. We're going to revisit that when they were first called Christians in Antioch. That's why Antiochus in Maccabees. See there? It's all the same thing. But see, what has happened to us is we didn't know how to find it because we thought Christianity was the truth.
Right.
But once you peel back the lie and find the real truth, then everything starts to fall out as lies.
Right.
Nothing stands now.
Right.
Go ahead. Creed. Boy.
Put your face in your voice.
Here we go.
There it is.
Constantine and his influence on Christianity.
Pay attention.
The Constantine Creed. I renounce all customs, rites, legalisms, unleavened breads, and sacrifices of lambs of the Hebrews.
See there? Now this is what you have to say to take on the Constantinian Creed. We know Ak is not taking the Constantinian Creed.
I'm not taking this creed, by the way. I'm just reading it.
Yahuwah rebuke.
As I read this, you will know what belief system you believe. By listening to this, you'll know what belief system fits into this category.
Yeah.
Of all of the Hebrews and all the other feasts of the Hebrews, sacrifices, prayers, aspirations, purifications, sanctifications, appropriations, and fasts, new moons, Sabbaths, superstitions, and hymns, and chants, observances, and synagogues. Absolutely everything says Jewish, but we know it's not Jewish. Yahudi. Every law, right, and custom, and if afterwards I shall wish to deny and return to this Yahudim superstition, or shall be found eating with the Yahudim, or feasting with them, or secretly conversing and condemning the Christian religion.
Come on,
instead of openly confuting them and condemning their vain faith. Then let the trembling of Cain, and the leprosy of Gehazi cleave to me, as well as the legal punishment to which I acknowledge myself liable. And may I be an anathema.
It means a curse.
In the world to come, and may my soul be set down with Satan and the devils. Stefano, a Seminati, a Taf, Santorium, Martyrium, something. Volume 1, Rome, 1748, page 105.
Come on.
Furthermore, any follower of the Yahudim Messiah, Mashiach, Yahushua HaMashiach, who wish to join to this holy community was compelled to adopt a different set of rules and
Stop!
customs.
Stop! So that means the followers of Yahushua HaMashiach were not Christian then.
No.
If this is a Christian creed, but it says if any of the followers of this
Wish
man
to join
who is
this
called
community.
Yahusha, wish to join this community, what they got to do, so that proves they wasn't Christian.
No, they was not.
Man,
Was
come on.
compelled to adopt a different set of rules and customs.
Wow.
Subsequently, special creeds were drafted to which the Christian would have to swear as. I'm not swearing this, I'm just reading it.
Okay.
I accept all customs, rites, legalisms, feasts of the Romans. The Romans.
Saturnalia, Natalia,
Yeah.
Juvenalia,
Right.
the Nativity, that's the feast
All
right
them
there.
days.
Lupercalia, which is Valentine's. That's
Right.
why I always give you the ancient name of it.
Right. Lent.
And that's the feast. Lent. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you say he instead of I?
It's
Just to
bothering
make
my
me
baby.
feel-
Okay.
I don't like
Do
when
that.
you read
I'll
I
do
on
that,
for
yeah.
curses stuff.
I do that.
Okay, thank you.
I do that.
He.
Okay. He that comes into the Christian
He
point.
accept all the rights,
Thank you.
legalism, customs, and feasts of the Romans.
that?
Sacrifices, prayers, purifications with water, sanctifications by
The
pontificus.
sprinkling of your baby. If you done brought that baby in and they done sprinkled him,
Or
that's the purification.
Christianizing them.
Or Christianizing him. That is a sprinkled demonic curse. Cause watch this now.
Yeah, me too.
Watch this now. If you sprinkling that baby, but you see on exorcist movies when they come in to fight the demon.
Yeah.
I can tell you the power of Christ.
Yeah.
That is a curse to battle. That is satanic water that they covering your baby in to dedicate it to these deities of Gaul.
Right.
The demons of Gaul, they dedicate your baby by the sprinkling. You got to cancel the assignment if you have had your baby, what they call it? What's the dedication?
Right.
If you have had a Christianizing.
Christianing.
Yeah, a christening. Thank you. See there? If you had a christening, you need to renounce that in the name of Yahuwah,
Yeah, you do.
Yahusha.
Yeah, you do.
You need to renounce. This is why I say that. If you go look at the walls, and we're going to share this later, I got pictures and pictures when we went to the Bahamas. When the slaves got off the ship, the priest was standing there to Christianize them. He baptized them from one name to another. They showed a little bit on the Muslim, that's what it was, roots, where they was changing his name from Toby
Right.
to Kuta Kinte, but that ain't how they did it. When you came off that ship, you chained and you muzzled, so you can't bite back. They would Christianize you right then. And if your name was Abaryt Yahshar'alym, the servant of Yahuwah, no. You get what I'm saying? Now you are the servant of God. You Taylor. You know what I'm saying?
Taylor Smith.
Yeah,
That's your last name.
You sprinkle
Taylor
that.
Smith.
You sprinkle that boy and you remove
Taylor
all
Smith.
rights of his Yahudic belief system.
Right.
1492, they'll tell you Columbus had a boat full of Jews, but what they lying about is who the Jews were.
Yeah.
They were Yahudim, escaping the Inquisition.
Right.
And you got to understand, in fear, we convert. Why? Because we're afraid. That's how we became Muslims. That's how we became Christians. Everybody did not stand. That's why Revelation says, herein lies the patience and the endurance of the Kadishim. No matter if persecution comes, he that lives by the sword must die by the sword. You got to know it happens to you,
Right.
but if you stand, stand.
Yep.
They didn't stand. They were being sprinkled off that boat. Those who fought it died. Right then. That is the Christianizing that you read, Doc. Yes, ma'am.
I thought about
Boy,
it the other day.
I'm
I
telling
was thinking about the slave ship, and then you know how they say that people would jump off the boat and kill themselves to keep from going through slavery. But if you serve Yahuwah, you know you're not supposed to kill yourself. So how you know they didn't kill you and throw you off the boat because you refused to do what they said? And
They want you to think.
And let me
that
show
they
you the
need to.
traces of
Yeah.
Yahuwah through there. I was telling the woman at work, she started singing Kumbaya. Pay attention. Make sure the camera on, because I know you're trying to read the things. What, is somebody say anything? Okay. This is what she said. Kumbaya. She was singing Kumbaya. I said, that sounds sweet, don't it? She said, yeah, it sounds awesome. I said, every time you have a little peaceful campfire, they sing Kumbaya. She said, yeah. I said, you know what that really was? Kum means to rise up. Kumbaya means it's telling Yahuwah to rise up and save us.
That's right.
From our enemies.
Right.
So when they seen the slaves singing Kumbaya, they were not singing in peace. They were asking for vengeance to be exacted for them being captured.
Yeah.
Huh? They were rejecting Christianity. Do you know they had an island in South Carolina? Gullah Island. They made a cartoon about it. Put a dragon on that boy in Nickelodeon. Gullah Island. Look it up. But the Gullahs were Hebrews who believed in Yahuwah. Man, come on, man. They've been playing with us in front of us and letting our kids think it's about a dragon now.
Right.
About mysticism. When they mocking our people as killing us off. This is serious stuff, man. This right here, after this, you're going to decide what line you stand on.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I was gonna say, like I was, you always hear all of these different things that people tell you, like, what we have to realize too is that the main reason that we were put on ships, the main reason why our land was taken, the main reason why all of these things were going on is because we were practicers of voodoo. People, you see this all throughout life. People say, people love to say, oh, our people, our culture was voodoo. Okay, yes, it probably was voodoo. You hear people say, oh, our culture was to smoke weed. Okay, it probably was to smoke weed. Our culture was to do this. Okay, but it was our culture in line with Yahuwah's commandments.
Exactly.
And so because our culture took us away from him, this is the reason why we were in captivity, we are still in captivity.
Right.
Because the truth of the matter is, although we are free, you still enslaved, because the thing about it is, how you gonna get food? You gotta go to work. How you gonna get how you gonna have lights on? How you gonna have a roof? How you gonna get from here to there? You gotta have a job, and this job keeps you enslaved. So the thing about it is, we might not be having somebody whip us physically, but we are still enslaved. And the reason why we are enslaved still is because of the curses. A bunch of us still are in bondage to the world system, and we
feeling good about it.
Yeah, exactly. And we love it, and we love it. And the thing about it is too, is that when I look at our people, especially when I look down my timeline, I got people who are my friends from some of everywhere. All you see is our people are proud to be whores now. Our people are proud to be deadbeat dads. Our people are proud to be things that are against Yahuwah, things that are against what we are supposed to be. I mean, because when you look at back in the day, the women used to stay home, and not necessarily, I'm not saying stay home as in not work, but I'm saying stay home and not be out here flaunting. You used to have the older women say, hey baby, sit right, do this, do that. Yeah. You're not supposed to be out here doing this and doing that. Nowadays, you got the older women sitting up here talking about, oh girl, look at that. Yeah, I do this and I do that. And I'm like, what happened to us as a people? It's not cute, and it's not.
They are twerking grandbabies.
Exactly.
Yeah. Having slumber parties for the little kids.
Exactly. That's not cute.
Boys.
Now, this is in line with this Constantine creed. This is great. That's great what you said. Because look at the book. We read it, but we ain't paying attention. Yahweh went into captivity. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yahashua or Ezekiel was in captivity. Matter of fact, he tells you he was in captivity when he had the vision of the cherubim, the wheel in the middle of the wheel that Christians always sing about. He was in a vision of captivity. Daniel, which means Elohim is my judge. Mishael, Hananiah, Azariyahu, which means Yahuwah is my help. They were in captivity as eunuchs. Now that means they were righteous, but they had to go into captivity with the wicked.
Right.
So it was just like that here. You had those, like you said, great point, who were righteous. They probably wasn't doing all this stuff that they were doing. But still, because of the curse, they had to be led into captivity too. To be a witness, what? To this wicked nation.
Right.
He allows captivity to overtake you. Even in some righteous people, they allow to be taken into captivity as to be a witness to that place. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like that now. We're awakening to righteousness. We're still in the land of our captivity.
Right.
So when people, if Yahuwah tarries, if he waits, when people see these writings that we got, they're going to say, man, these people knew Yahuwah.
Right.
But what about the captivity?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It was people still seeking him. That's why they were busting out their teeth. That's why they was doing the things to them. We gonna make you bow to our Elohim. Go ahead, I'll read that doggone thing, bro. Get him. This is the creed that you have taken, if you're a Christian, and you fail to realize what you are, you can say that you, oh man, that ain't me. No, you have taken on the Christianization of the Constantinian creed.
Yes, you have. Prayers, purification with water, sanctifications by the high priest of Rome, appropriations and feasts, and the new Sabbath.
Oh, Sabbath change.
The new Sabbath.
Come on,
and the new. So, D means the day of the sun.
So D. Sunday.
Sunday.
Ain't that Sunday?
Yeah, it is.
If you keep it Sunday, if you keeping your feasts and festivals,
This is where it came from.
this is where it came from. You cannot get out of that.
No, you can't.
And watch this, and I know you know it's where it came from, because all them, when the Pope, the Pope Francis came over here to America, it was the major pastors and leaders. Kenneth Copeland is Creflo Dollar's spiritual father. Is that right?
Yes, it
If you know, you can't even play like that. When the Pope came, Kenneth Copeland had it on the screen, they faced order and played blessings over him. That who they called G.O.D. in the name of J.C. demon of Gaul would cover and pray him and exalt him. And then you get Creflo Dollar, because you may not watch Kenneth Copeland, but you do too, because you got TVN on all the time,
So,
rocking in your chair with the quilted blanket.
Rocking.
You watched him. Then Creflo says the law, the law is of the devil, is of Hashatan. They know the Constantinian creed. They have said it. They have stood in front of the Pope and have accepted what he's finna do as the anti-Mashiach. But you, because you are ignorant, because Satan's devices are not for those who know.
Right.
We are not ignorant of Satan's devices. That's book.
Right.
If you know, you know.
Right.
You're watching him. But because people are ignorant to him, they accept everything that comes through those Christian doors when they open them.
Yeah, they do.
They don't even reject it. Because if Pastor cool with it, I'm cool with it.
Right.
Go ahead, Op.
New Sabbath, day of the sun. All new chants and observations. And all the foods and drinks of the Romans.
It's swine of the Romans.
Yes.
They had swine festivals.
Lots of them.
Swine was considered to be a holy animal in the Roman Empire. To where every feast was to swine. That's why you have a bloody bunny ham.
A delicacy.
And a second
Huh? You have a ham for Christmas. Every time it's ham. Right now it's Dr. Seuss month. They reading green eggs and ham. I'm finna hit y'all with something. It might be comical, but they said the children protested because the children were getting sick from it last year, and they was asking could they not have ham this year, green eggs and ham, so they gave them green cupcakes and stuff because the children were vomiting up swine. Yeah. They told me that to my face. That ain't hearsay.
Wow.
That was to my face from a teacher.
Wow.
So you got green eggs and ham.
Actually eating green eggs.
Yeah, green eggs and ham.
Yeah.
Food color.
What color is the angry bird? What color is the angry bird pig?
We have
Green.
Adams.
See there?
See?
Hey, Adam tripping too.
Y'all had them Adam green eggs and ham. See? Because you have to partake in the sacrifice of swine.
You threw that plate on the floor, didn't you? Smashed it.
You have to partake of the sacrifice of a swine. It is holy in their feast.
Yeah, it is.
Come on, get them.
In other words, he absolutely accepts everything Roman.
Everything.
Everything Roman.
Everything what? Roman. Or everything Greek.
Everything
Because
Greek.
Greco-Romans. See there? So you have to accept everything that Rome does. That's why they lie and say this was written in Greek.
Yeah, they do.
They don't say it was written in Roman, right? Because they didn't speak Roman.
Right.
They spoke Greek.
Right.
Yeah.
See there?
Yeah.
So you got to accept everything that comes along with the aspect of Roman.
Here we go.
Come on.
Everything Roman, every new law, right, and custom of Rome, and the new Roman religion.
See there? Don't think it was just happenstance that the movie Roman J. Israel came out
See there?
Yeah.
at this time
Then
about a black activist who were lost. See there? They know you waking up.
Yeah.
They are doing everything in their power to keep mingling the Roman religion with the Hebrew religion.
Right.
And it's going to always continue to happen until Yahuwah comes, because Rome is the last kingdom to reign. We're going to get there too.
Right.
Go ahead, Doc.
Additionally, in approximately 365 AD, the Council of Laodicea wrote in one of their canons. Christians must not Judaize by resting on the Sabbath.
Ain't that something?
Come on.
Oh my goodness. But must work on that day, rather honoring the Lord's day.
Uh-oh.
But if any shall be found to be Judaizers, let them be
Go ahead.
anathema.
Let them be a curse.
Anathema from Christ.
So that's why people love Galatians so much, that if any man speak or preach any other gospel, any man of angels, let them be anathema. Because see, that's what YAHUAH said in there. When they wrote it, they put anathema. They didn't put a curse. See there? Because why did they put anathema? Because they following this creed.
Right. No.
So anybody teaching Torah, and don't go ahead. Go ahead,
Protestants are included as they still observe the holidays and Sabbaths of Rome, as in, are you going to church this coming Lord's Day?
Good night.
Can't make this up.
That's in there.
It's in there. That's the creed.
That's in the creed.
That's the creed.
This how you going to church this?
You come. Here you go. Protestants are included as they still observe the holidays and Sabbath of Rome, as in quotations, because they speaking, are you going to church this coming Lord's Day?
Wow.
Am I going to see you over there, pastors, this Sunday?
I'm going to see you.
Are you going to be at New Bethel this Sunday?
You coming to church this Sunday?
You coming to church? How many times they say, hey, you going to be there this Sunday? This Lord's Day?
Lord.
See there? It's right there.
Yes.
That's
on the creed.
Bruh. Now watch this. Constantine's cross. The Roman church lies and says that their church went through an unimaginable persecution from the Roman Empire. So imagine what extraordinary turn of events it was when the Roman emperor himself became a Christian. Within one person's lifetime, this is actually recorded by a person who knew, say he was with Constantine during the time of the wars and stuff. With one person's lifetime, the empire went from the most savage of its several persecutions of Christians to embracing Christianity. Who does that sound like? That sounds like Apostle Paul. They used his story and flipped it as Constantine. I persecuted the Christians, then I became one. See there?
Yeah.
This is a trick.
Yeah.
The text tells the story of Emperor Constantine's conversion and a little of how his new belief reflected his imperial policy. He outlawed infanticide. That's abortion. Catholics are against abortion.
Yeah, they are. They're discommunicating from the church.
See there? Okay. The abuse of slaves and peasants. Crucifixion. And he made Sunday the day of rest.
He made
Man,
it, right?
bro.
They said he made it.
He made it.
Okay.
But see, wait. I thought he accepted Christianity on his deathbed. See, I just read that to you.
Right.
How did he do all this on his deathbed? See, the vicar, what you hear, the vicar of Christ or the vicar of the Pope, who's the vicar, he is that person in human form. So when Constantine died, he was the new Christ or the new saint.
Right.
So now I am the embodiment of Constantine. So if I say it's done, I'm Constantine doing it.
Right.
In his name.
All right, let's go then.
Coming in his name.
I mean, we got book 2. We're going to read book, but I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
Listen here. And please jump in if you hear something, because all this stuff made me have to fast out. Constantine chooses Christianity because of the wicked magical enchantments so diligently practiced by the tyrant Maxentius, who took control of Rome. Constantine was convinced that he needed a more powerful aid than his military forces could give him. Wait, I just said wicked magical enchantments were happening to give this guy Maximus power. So Constantine said, wait, I need more magic.
Right.
Listen to this, what he did. So he sought the help of God. I ain't making this up. He believed arms and soldiers less important than the help of the power of the invincible and unshakable God. So he considered which God he should rely on for protection and help. It occurred to him that of the many emperors who had preceded him, those who had put their hope in a multitude of gods and served them with sacrifices and offerings had been deceived by flattering predictions and oracles promising prosperity and come to a bad end, without one of their gods warning them of an impending wrath of heaven. On the other hand, the one who alone had condemned their error, honoring one supreme God throughout his whole life, i.e. his father. Yeah, his father was the one supreme God.
Wow.
That he honored in his own one deity. Why? Because they have received the power of the deity who they call Jupiter or Zeus. Man, come on. I'm finna watch this. Had found him to be the savior and protector of his empire. Reflecting on this, he decided it would be great folly to join in the idol worship of those who were no gods, and to err from the truth such as convincing evidence. For this reason, he felt bound to honor his father's God alone. Now watch this. Constantine's vision. Accordingly, Constantine called on him with earnest prayer to reveal who he was, and stretched forth his right hand to help him in his present difficulties. And while he was thus praying, how many times you hear this through the Mormon belief and everything, Joseph Smith and everything?
Yeah.
While he was yet praying, even Billy Graham's story. If you watch Billy Graham's story, he out there in the woods praying, and then the deity appears to him.
Right.
While he was yet praying and fervent entreating, the most extraordinary sign appeared for him from heaven. Something which might have been hard to believe had the story been told by any other person. But because he was Constantine, see there, we believe him because he was Constantine. But since the victorious emperor himself long afterward declared it to the writer of this history, when he was honored with his acquaintance and society, and confirmed his statement by oath, who could hesitate to believe it? Wow. Especially since other testimonies have established its truth. Listen to this. He said that at about noon, when the day was already beginning to decline, he saw with his own eyes the sign of a cross, the light in the heavens above the sun.
Good gracious.
Bearing in the inscription, by this symbol you will conquer. He was struck with amazement by the sight, and his whole army witnessed the miracle.
They had Project Bluebeam back then?
Wow.
They had probably Project Hasatan back then.
Hashatan Beam.
Yeah.
Constantine's dream. He said that he was unsure what this apparition, see there, could mean, but that he continued to ponder. Night suddenly came on. In his sleep, the Christ of God appeared to him with the same sign which he had seen in the heaven.
Oh my goodness.
I ain't making this up. This is history.
Oh my goodness.
Say he appeared to him with the cross. He probably floated in the room. You know on Spike Lee movies, how they just float. I see it in my head. God, dog. And commanded him to make a likeness.
A likeness.
Does that not break Exodus 20 and 3?
Yes.
To make a likeness of the sign which he had seen in the heavens, and to use it as a safeguard in all engagements with his enemies.
Wow.
So he has given him a magic cross. The Celtic cross.
Wow.
It's a satanic rock man from the same story.
Wow.
Magic.
Making the standard of the cross. At the break of day, he rose and told his friends about the marvel.
Don't you do it.
Then he called together the workers of gold, precious stones, and sat in the midst of them, and described them the sign he had seen, telling them to represent it in gold and precious stones. And this representation I myself have had an opportunity of seeing. This is a witness of this, writing this. What the standard look like. That's why all Christians tell you to fall at the feet of the cross. They tell you to come to the feet of the cross, don't they?
Yeah.
They never say come to the feet of the Savior. You fall at the feet of the cross.
Yeah.
Come on, man. What the standard look like? It was made in the following manner. A long spear overlaid with gold and transverse bar laid over and formed the figure of the cross. A wreath of gold and precious stones were fixed to the top of the symbol. Watch this. In the Savior's name with it. The first two Greek letters of Christ's name, Rho. You finna go to Revelation. I'm finna show you something. Rho being intercepted with the chi.
No, do it.
On the top of his symbol. It looks like, he said these two letters look like an X and a P.
See there?
Oh, man.
Boy. The X and a P. The emperor took to wearing the two letters on his helmet at the later period. From this crossbar, a spear was suspended with a cloth. A royal piece covered a profuse embroidery of most brilliant and precious stones. So the cross was suspended a cloth. You ever seen the crosses? And they always have a little cloth over it.
Yeah.
See there? Bruh, see there?
Yeah, they do, don't they?
This is right here, being richly interlaced with gold, as it presented an indescribable beauty and beholder. The banner was square, upright staff. Lower section of the great length bore a golden half-length portrait of the pious emperor and his children on it. See there? On the upper part, beneath the trophy of the cross, immediately above the embroidered banner, the emperor constantly made use of this sign of salvation and safeguard against every adverse and hostile power, and commanded that others similar to it should be carried at the head of all his armies. Oh, at the cross, where I first saw the light, and the burden of my heart rose away. It was there by faith. Oh, I received my sight, and now I am glad all the day. He said when he first saw the Lord at the cross, they singing Constantine's story.
Ain't that something?
That's why I sung it out. I'm ex-pagan. So let's go. Revelations 13. Now you finna sing.
Still them jeans, I see.
This explains Hazon. Hazon means haze or vision. This is the vision that YAHUAH done seen. He's seen this. Man, come on. Revelations 13. And I'm gonna go there. We're gonna start at 11. 13. We're gonna start at 11 first. I want to show you something about the beast of the earth. Now, I'm gonna go back up and read that part right quick, just for this. In the first two Greek letters of Christ's name, the rho being intercepted by the chi, its center. The two letters look like an X and a P. Google the Catholic Church, the mark of the beast. You will get an X and a P. Let's go. Here we go. 13. It's in the Sephir.
Yeah.
It's in the Sephir. They did their homework.
Yeah, they do.
I'm gonna get my picture out.
And behold.
Hey, you done did something now.
What's this? Let me go.
Show off.
Let me go up to 6.
Read the boy. Read the boy.
I read the whole boy? No. I need 6. Not the whole boy. Because there's two different beasts.
Right.
That's why I can't read the whole boy. I want to though, but look. Let me see. 6. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against YAHUAH. Hear that? To blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in the Shemayim, or the skies. And it was given unto him to make war with the Kedoshim, the believers of YAHUAH, right, and to overcome them. And the power was given to him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
Wow.
I mean, everybody gonna call him one thing.
Right.
See there? And to dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose name are not written in the Sephir or book of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. If any man has an ear,
let him hear.
Let him hear. Come on. He that leads into captivity shall go into captivity. But he that kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the belief of the Kedoshim.
Right.
Not the saints. Those who follow YAHUAH.
Right.
Man, come on, man. And I beheld another beast. This is the beast of the earth. Pay attention to it. Coming out of the earth. The other one was the beast of the sea. He had 2 horns like a lamb. But he spoke as a dragon.
Wow.
Now watch this. If you look at the Vatican's worship place, it is a snake's mouth.
Surely is.
Or a dragon. Because the Abaryt word for dragon is tanin. River monster. It is a monster's mouth. They sitting in, and in the back of them is demons and a big bearded demon rising over there. It is called the nuclear Jesus. Look it up. Right behind him is a satanic image of the demon of Gaul. But they sitting in a dragon's mouth. Look as a lamb, spoke as a dragon. And he exercises all power of the first beast before him. And he causes the earth and them that dwell in it to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Now the first beast is all the nations that sits on the waters of the people. That's why they always talking about one world government, one world religion, new world order. Come on. And he exercises all the power. Now what was that? What was that? Oh, 13. And he does great wonders, so that he makes fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceives them that dwell on earth by means of those miracles.
Deceives.
Which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. I'm going to show you who gave him these miracles to do because of a strong delusion. Saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast. Tell me you can't pull up an image of JC anywhere in the world.
Yes.
Huh? Anywhere. Matter of fact, it stands in Rio de Janeiro with his hands outstretched. That is one of the poorest parts of that country. Yeah. They will rob you blind now. They are under curses. Man, come on. And deceives them that dwell on earth. Let me get it. 15. Let me see. 15. Now 16. Let me read 15 again.
Did it?
He had power to give life to the image of the beast. And the image of the beast. That's it. We watch him on TV. To give image of the beast. And the image of the beast should both speak and cause many that has not worshipped the image of the beast should be killed.
Right.
See there? He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand. Pay attention to that. That's 13:16. If you read at Exodus 13:16, the mark and sign on our hand and our forehead is keeping the Torah.
That's it. That's it.
It's funny how it failed, even trying to keep chapters in a book that was scrolls. 13:16 falls that there's a mark on your right hand and your forehead that belongs to the beast.
Right.
It is the works. Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead. Now you saying what I'm finna say.
Wait a minute.
You saying what I'm finna say. I'm finna say that it's the thoughts you keep your mind stayed upon him. And
keep my mind stayed on Jesus.
The works that you put your hands to.
Oh my goodness.
The works that you're doing. And the fact of the matter is they not even really doing any works. They are doing, because you're not supposed to work. So they're not really doing anything.
It's putting their hand to it. But see, let me stop you there. It's works. Because good works is going to other nations, giving them things in the name of JC. Giving them gifts. And feeding the poor and doing it. That's why Mother Teresa, she had gave all her wealth that she had to be a Catholic mother, a nun, and she gave all to the poor. She spent her whole life doing that.
Right.
See there? Imagine going to the pit because you believed that what you were in was right. And you took all your wealth. She was a wealthy woman. Look up Mother Teresa. She gave all her wealth to the poor and spent her whole life doing works. And people are coming out now talking about how evil she was. See there? Because you can't make a bad tree produce good fruit.
Right.
You can't be righteous and wicked at the same time. You need a blood transfusion. Huh?
Yeah.
You need a renewing of the mind. See what I'm saying? You can't be in Christianity and then take it over here and say, I've been walking with him for 40 years.
Right.
See what I'm talking about? Yeah. You can't say that.
This is the beginning.
Yeah.
This is only the beginning.
Right.
Man, I think about that. Boy, I know sometimes I get crazy. But on the mummy, when he came back, he said, death is only the beginning. That stuck with me. Why? Because even to get in here, you gotta die. This is the beginning of my life now.
Right.
Huh? Moshe and them didn't care about what happened in Mitzrayim. They only told the story to be a witness of what happened. He cared about when he saw that bush.
Yeah. Yeah.
In his 40th year, he knew YAHUAH. Hanak says, in his 65th year, my eyes were open. And I saw the esteem of YAHUAH. So the rest of that time didn't even matter.
Took him 65.
See there? Ain't that something? And he walked with YAHUAH 365 years before he was taken up. 300 more years. Knowing him is at the time that you die to yourself. And in Christianity, we didn't die to ourselves. We continued the same pleasures, same lusts, same observances. We thought we were pious in our own eyes.
Yeah.
But when you get here, you look in that Torah, like Shaul says, and you see how the wretched man that I am. Who can save me from Yahuwah's wrath? Wow. Thanks be to Yahuwah that he sent his blood through his son Yahusha to save us. That's what Shaul was talking about. He ain't never preach against the law. No. He ain't never speak against. He was saying, sin myself.
It's in here. Let's go. Another thing though.
I got to first.
Hold on a second. In Christianity, the problem is their lawlessness acts is accounted as righteousness to them. Mm-hmm. You know, when they are living unrighteously, it's actually their righteousness. So when they eating swine, they have no problem with that. It's a lawless act to Yahuwah, but to them, there's nothing wrong with it. It's righteous to them. When they celebrate all these holidays and birthdays or whatever it may be, they see nothing wrong with it. It's lawless in the sight of Yahuwah, but to them, it's considered righteous. So what they consider righteousness is actually their lawlessness.
Right. Or the cunning of, that's a nice guy right there.
See that too.
See there?
Yeah.
Nice don't mean righteousness.
You come from a good home.
Just like Yahuwah. Just Yahuwah said. Yeah. When we was out in the street, we was nice guys.
Right.
We respected each other and stuff like that. People they put so much emphasis on, that's a nice guy right there. He'll do anything for you. Right. Just because he's nice. And that's why you exchange that for righteousness.
And that's why Yahushua set the standard when he said, why do you call me good? Right. There's no one good but Yahuwah. Right. See that? He was trying to let you know as a man, don't get that pat on the back. Right. Bump all that. Right. The goodness and the righteousness comes from being obedient to that Torah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And the flip on that is now you got like trying to walk in actually true righteousness. To them and to the world, it seemed as unrighteousness. Yeah, right. Yes. So we actually trying to do what the book actually say do. Right. You don't gotta do that. Why are you doing that? You know, it makes sense.
Paul right there. Good tonight. Man. Yeah. Man, this good stuff. Now watch this. 16. We talk about the marks on their forehead. 17. And that no man might buy or sell except he have the mark. You think that chip you keep having on your card, they keep acting up. Man, I keep hearing all the time when we working. Man, that chip, I have a problem with it all the time. It's slow and it's in that. They doing that so that they can give you a mark in your hand. Why are they going to try to put a mark in your hand? That is not the mark of the beast. No. That is the mark of the beast.
Yeah. The mark of the mark.
You got that. Yeah. Right. So watch this. If you ain't serving Yahuwah, if you serving Yahuwah and ain't serving JC, they going to say you ain't finna get it then. Right. You are an enemy of the faith.
The spiritual stuff.
You shall starve. And let your Elohim provide for you.
Right.
See? Because he provides for us. Mm-hmm. That's what they're going to say. Oh,
you are
all that tongue.
You are not.
Right. See, they're going to go into the foolishness thinking it's righteousness. That's why he said they're going to kill you and think they're doing y'all service.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Because they're mixing two belief systems as one. Come on, man. Let's read this right here. Say that he have the mark and the name of the beast. Or the number. That word is not number in Abaryt. That word actually means symbol of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that has understanding calculate or understand the symbol of the beast. For the symbol is of a man. What man stands upright that you see that is a beast? Huh? Let's go. Yeah. His name and his number. I got to get this right. Chi Rho Sigma or Rho Chi Sigma is what it is. Yeah. The X is a rho. Chi Sigma. Show him, Mark. Show him. Show the camera. That's the one watching.
Get out of here.
Huh? Football players have it on them. Look. Yeah. Look in the corner. Yeah. They can't see it on now. Pull you up a picture. You're going to see it right there in the corner. It is the symbol.
Yeah, it is sometimes.
Come on. It is a symbol of a man. We going in on this one this time. Go up close. We ain't finna let our people fall out.
Get it up there. Let me see it.
Get it up there so you can see it right there in the corner.
Yeah, right there.
Right on the JC.
Let's show them. We'll pull it up.
Right there in the JC. Look in the corner.
This is the symbol. The image of a man. He said it, right? This man had been revealed. It had been revealed to him. It had been revealed to him. He said, he who has wisdom, let him calculate, let him understand. That this is the symbol of a man.
Right.
A beast on the earth, he walks as a man.
Right.
but inwardly he's a beast. He looks like a lamb. What do they call him? The Lamb of God. Come on now. They call him the Lamb of God.
So while they're putting the number here, it should read symbol.
It should read symbol.
Right. And they put this number here, and
they changed it to 666.
Yes,
right.
Yes,
but 666, if you look up 600, hold on one second. If you look up 606 score and 6 in your Strong's Concordance, you will get Rho, Chi, Sigma. You can look it up in the Strong's. Hold on, because numerology. See, thank you. I got them all. If you look up Chi, Sigma, you'll get 606 score and 6. This is what he's seen. He's seen the Mashiach, the false Mashiach, the anti-Mashiach, the Antichrist. Right. He's seen this. Right. That's why he said, those who have wisdom, let them calculate the symbol. For it is the symbol of a man. And let me show you something. That's it. That was not just JC. That was Nero. Nero at that time was emperor. That was Julius Caesar. That was Augustus Caesar. That was Emperor Constantine. He said, for there are many anti-Mashiachs on earth. The same one who just showed you the symbol is the same one that said that there were many. We got to go there to that scripture. But what I'm saying is that symbol was given to show you a coming kingdom. Where did he get that from? He got it in Daniel. You got something? Go ahead, man. We finna show this as what it is. Right. It is the image of a man.
Right. You can go to Abaryt 17, but I'm reading Josephus real quick. From YAHUAH. When y'all turn to Abaryt 17.
And anybody who need that, I know how Netanyahu do. He get excited. But anybody who need that, we'll give it to you. We can show you all that. I just didn't want to break it down beforehand without explaining where this stuff come from. You hear Constantine say he wore it on his forehead. Oh, yes. Did he not say he wore it on his helmet?
He did. Sure did.
Is that not your forehead? Your sign?
It is.
It says in Exodus 13:16 that you shall wear his Torah as your frontlets and in your right hand for strength. It should be in your mind. That word is bane. Bane in Abaryt means in your front of your mind. To obey them. Right. For the word is nigh you even to your mouth. Is your mind not close to your mouth? So Constantine took this symbol of the beast and he put it on his helmet as a frontlet. This is your father of Christianity, bro. This is serious. Very serious. Go ahead, man. Get him 17. Yeah.
Let me get Josephus real quick. YAHUAH.
Oh yeah. Yahu.
Just a little bit of chapter 1. Chapter 1.
Come on.
Verse 4. Talk about the serpent for a little bit. This is the garden right now when the serpent was deceiving them. Watch what he said.
Go ahead,
all right. But while all the living creatures had one language at that time, the serpent, which then lived together with Adam and his woman, showed an envious disposition at his supposal of their living gladly, and in obedience to the commands of Elohim, and imagining that when they disobeyed them, they will fall into calamities.
Come on.
He persuaded the woman out of a malicious intent to taste of the tree of knowledge, telling them that in that tree was the knowledge of good and evil, which knowledge, when they shall obtain, they would lead a glad life,
a joyful life,
a life not inferior to that of an Elohim.
Come on.
So you live a life and pretty much doing whatever you want to do. By which means he overcame the woman and persuaded her to despise
the command
of Elohim. Now flip over, Art. This is the when he cursed him real quick.
Come on, man.
He said, besides this, he inserted poison under his tongue and made him an enemy to men, and suggested to them that they should direct their stroke against his head.
That's the snake. That's the serpent.
Yeah, against his head. Okay. That being the place wherein lay his mischievous designs toward men, and it being easiest to take vengeance on him that way. Yes, but if you ain't got a word in you, You can't attack his head. He gonna attack yours.
Right.
So a lot of times they say Satan's after your heart. He's after your mind. He get a hold of your mind. It's a wrap. It's over for you. So now I want to talk about the king versus the king.
Come on.
Double ring 17.
Man, come on, huh?
So we got a king, but they got a king too.
That's right.
They got a king.
Malaka.
Yeah.
What's his name?
YAHUAH.
Right. Here we go. Double ring 17. You should not sacrifice unto YAHUAH any bullock or sheep wherein is blemish or evil favoredness that is an abomination to YAHUAH. If there be found among you within any of your gates, which YAHUAH gives you, man or woman, that has wrought out wickedness in the sight of YAHUAH in transgressing his covenant, and has gone and served other Elohim, and worshiped them, either the sun or the moon, or any other host of the Shemayim, which I have not commanded, and it be told you, and you have heard of it, and inquired diligently, and behold, it be true, and the thing certain that such abomination is wrought in Yahshar'alym, then shall you bring forth out that man or out that woman which have committed out that wicked thing unto your gates, even out that man or that woman, and shall stone them with stones till they die. At the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death. That's another thing. People want to put to death just by one witness. Right. You had to have 2 or 3 witnesses. Right. But at the mouth of one witness he shall not be put to death. The hands of the witness shall be first upon him to be put to death, and afterward the hands of all the people shall you put the evil away from among you. If there arises a matter too hard for you in judgment, between blood and blood, between plea and plea, stroke and stroke, being matters of controversy within your gates, then shall you arise and get you up into the place which YAHUAH shall choose. And you shall come unto the priest, the Levanim, and unto the judge that shall be in those days, and inquire. All they shall show you the sentence of judgment. And you shall do according to the sentence which they of that place which YAHUAH shall choose, shall show you, and you shall observe to do according to all that they inform you. According to the sentence of the Torah.
Sentence of the what?
Torah, which they shall teach you, and according to the judgment which they shall tell you, you shall do. You shall not decline from the sentence which they shall show you to the right or to the left. And the man that will do presumptuously and will not hearken unto the priest that stands to minister there before YAHUAH and unto the judge, even that man shall die. And you shall put away the evil from Yahshar'alym. And all the people shall hear and fear and do no presumption. When you are coming to the land which YAHUAH gives you, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. You shall in any wise set him king over you, whom YAHUAH shall choose. One from among your brethren shall you set king over you.
They're not Trump.
You may not set a stranger over you, which is not your brother.
Right. So Trump is not chosen for.
He is not. He is not. I want to key in on that point. Now turn to 3 Maccabees. I'm going to read chapter 3 and 3 Maccabees, but you can read it. You can read it all if you get time. Some good. Well, I gotta make sure. It's the right one because it's different on this app. This app is different when you do it.
That ain't the image of Jupiter.
Nah, I ain't the image of Jupiter.
I'm going in on that, bro.
You got that one?
I'm going to get it.
Yeah, it should be 3 Maccabees 3. 3 Maccabees 3. On discovering this, so it says was the wicked king. Now this is the wicked king coming into play here. The wicked king.
Why ain't in mine?
3 Maccabees 3.
3 Maccabees 3.
Yeah.
You should have it.
You should have 3 Maccabees.
3 back.
1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4.
And verse 3, right?
No, chapter 3.
Okay.
Chapter 3.
3 Maccabees.
Laying his hand more heavily upon those who lived in the country, he gave orders that they should be quickly collected into one place and not crippled. Hold on, make sure. Make sure this is the one. Yeah, okay. He gave orders that they should be quickly collected into one place and most cruelly deprived of their lives. While this was going on, an individual rumor was uttered abroad men who had banded together to injure the Yahudic race. The purport of their charge was that Yahudim kept them away from the ordinance of the Torah. Now, whether Yahudim always maintain a feeling of uncertainty, loyalty toward the king, yet, no, that's not what I want.
time up.
I'm gonna make sure I get the right one. King came to the sanctuary.
Was it first Maccabees 3? No.
No, it was 3 Maccabees. Yeah, you can go. Yeah, I gotta find this one. All right. You go. I find it. I gotta find this one.
All right. While he doing that, let's go to 11. Acts 11 and 25. Actually, let's go to 21.
That's what I had too.
Acts 11:21.
No, not that. Okay.
And the hand of YAHUAH was with them. A great number believed and turned to all YAHUAH. Then the tidings of these things came to the ears of those of the called out assembly, which was at Jerusalem. And they sent forth Barnabas that he should go as far as Antioch. Now that's what Ak is reading. That's probably what he's looking for too. Some parts of that. Antiochus Epiphanes is the one who attacked and conquered the Yahudi. So they had a city named after.
Right.
They went to Antioch, who, when he came, seeing the grace of Yah, was glad and absorbed them all with the purpose in the heart. They would cleave to Yah. For he was a good man, full of the ruach HaKodesh, not the Holy Ghost. Throw that garbage out. I'm telling you. We're going to go there.
Yeah.
And of belief. And much people were added unto YAHUAH. Then departed Barnabas to Tarshish. And I'm going to read that in Josephus. For to seek Shaul. And when he had found him, he brought him unto Antioch. Antioch was named after Antiochus Epiphany, one of Alexander the Great's lieges. And it says, and it came to pass that the whole year they assembled together in the called out assembly and taught much people. And the Talmudim were called, in the Sefer it says Mashiachim. Mm-hmm. But if you look up 3105, it's Christians.
Yeah.
First in Antioch. And these days came prophets from Jerusalem to Antioch. And there stood up one named Hagab, and signified by the ruach that there should be a great famine throughout all the world, which came to pass in the days of Claudius Caesar. And then the Talmudim, every man according to his ability, determined to send relief to the brethren, which dwelt in Yehuda, which also did, and they were called and sent to the elders by the hands of Barnabas and Shaul. But when you see that they were called Christians in Antioch, they were called Christians under Serapis.
Yeah.
The Christian term we get Christ from. Remember when I told you that Constantine had seen the Christ of God.
Right.
Christ comes from the word Krishna. Krishna is the deity of the Hindu. Now, this is why I'm going to show you where that comes from. All Roman and Greco-Roman, Roman and Greek cultures have always looked to the Hindus for their belief system. I'm going to prove that. If you look up the swastika that Hitler had in Germany, the broken cross he called it, they say the swastika is a symbol of peace. We say that the swastika is the enemy of America, right?
Right.
That anybody who wears the swastika is a Jewish enemy, an enemy of the Jews, and he burned them in the Holocaust and all that. The swastika comes from Hinduism and Buddhism. It is a symbol of peace to their deity. Why am I going there? Because Krishna is Christ. I'm going to show you all this. Give me a second. I'm going to try to break this down as careful as I can. Krishna is Christ. If you ever heard of the movie The Life of Pi, they had a movie The Life of Pi where he's on the boat with the tiger, the guy. at the first of that movie, he says, "Thank you, Vishnu, for sending the Christ." He's talking about the Christian Christ. Matter of fact, he says that he is a Christian Hindu in the movie. Why? How could he be a Christian Hindu? How could that even work? Because Christ is Krishna. And he thanks Vishnu for Christ.
Right.
So that man I just showed you, that enemy of YAHUAH, that image is of Krishna. Now I'm going to show you something. It's a song. You can write it down called "My Sweet Lord" back in the 60s. And the man would sing, "Oh my Lord, hallelujah, my sweet Lord, hallelujah, oh my Lord." It was a peace song in the 60s. Christians loved it. Watch this. That's the first verse. Get to the second verse. It goes, "Oh my Lord, Krishna, Krishna, my sweet Lord, Krishna, Krishna." You will see I'm not making it up. Look it up. I'm trying to remember his name off the top of my head. I told you I got 10 hours of stuff. But anyway, I'm trying to remember his name. I can't right now. But look up "My Sweet Lord." That's all you have to do is Google the song "My Sweet Lord." You will hear him start off with hallelujah. But in the second verse, he goes into Krishna, Krishna. Why? He is purposely deceiving Christians. He is purposely not really deceiving. He knows that in the yogi movement that happened with the Beatles were the first group to bring in yogis. Yogis are the Buddhist and Hindu teachers of yoga. That's what you call them, a yogi. And that 60s movement was a yogi movement. And what they did was they took the Kundalini spirit of yoga and mixed it with the church. That's why the Holy Ghost operates the same way, because it is a Hindu deity.
Is his name George Harrison?
George Harrison. Thank you. Thank you, LJ. George Harrison made the song "My Sweet Lord." Thank you. Torah. So, with that being said, when I sung that, Krishna is Christ. That's why they're trying to get a one world religion, because they say we all serve the same one. But you never hear them say YAHUAH anywhere.
Right.
See, in their books, it's no corruption. They know who they get. You get what I'm saying? They know who they serve. So when he came to Antioch, that's why they started getting called Christians. Matter of fact, the term was Christianos. That was the Latin or Greek term, Christianos. Because Christianos meant that you were a follower of Krishna. So when they seen these awesome works of YAHUAH, they were accrediting the works of YAHUAH to Christianos.
Right. Right.
He has to be from Christianity. You get what I'm saying? You can see that theme throughout the book, because remember when Paul and Barnabas, I say their names in the King James, when Paul and Barnabas were doing such great works, it says they called them Jupiter and Mercury.
Right.
And it said they almost overtook them, bringing sacrifices and offering. They were about to sacrifice animals to them as Jupiter and Mercury, but Paul fell on his face. And he said, "My brethren, we are but men like you." Right. See, it's the theme was, whenever they seen the move of YAHUAH, in their pagan mind, they knew in their mind that it's that deity.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Watch this. In that same story, in a book, in the Christian movie, I'm sorry, the guy who playing Paul is actually Antioch, the guy who was Hannibal Lecter. I did the Papa Beans the nice. Anthony Hopkins is playing Paul. You can look it up. And when it happens, that scene happens. That scene, they call him Mercury and Jupiter. They begin to pick up Paul. He don't even rebuke them. He goes, "Ho, ho, fellas, oh," and he just enjoying it. Why? They are perverting, because they saying he's the same.
Right.
The same one we see as Jupiter is the same one we see as Zeus, because Zeus and Jupiter are the same, who is the same one who is the Christ. That's why when you look at the creation of Adam painting, it is Zeus touching his finger.
Right.
Come on. Yes, ma'am.
Also in Christianity, I was going to say this. In Daniel, he talks about the evil one coming in the power of peace. He says that he comes in peace. I got that. And then everybody always says that you're supposed to love this person and love that person because he told you to love this person, to love that person. However, he said, I come not to bring peace, but I come to bring the sword. He said it's going to be mother-in-law against daughter-in-law. It's going to be father against son. And he tells you he's coming to bring division. Right. But according to Christianity, it's convenient always that certain scriptures are always either negated, skipped, or lost. Nobody ever reads those. Mm-hmm. And the thing about it is he's not coming to bring peace, but JC is coming to bring peace. Right. You read Daniel 8. I got it, sir. You already got it?
Yeah.
So I ain't going to say it.
Hold Daniel 8. You can read it. Wait, I'm going to tell you go down, but I'm going to let Ak do his first. Right. And we'll go. But like she said, the world peace, the world teacher, look up CNN introduces the matriarch. Matrya. The matriarch, the world teacher, is Hashatan in Mashiach form, in Christ form.
With the baby.
Diamonds. Woman crying diamonds. Yeah. Look that up. We'll go deeper in that in a minute. Go ahead, Ak. I don't want to take up your time.
Go ahead, Gabba Yahweh.
I'm sorry, Trace. I ain't seen you from his locks. Go ahead. The husband blocking his.
In the city where they created Krishnos, they found an ancient city in the water that was flooded, and they've been out there getting stuff, but they won't tell nobody what they found.
See there. That's good stuff.
In the city where Krishnos was created, where it started from, off in the ocean, they found an ancient city that was flooded, and they found artifacts off in there, but they won't tell nobody what they found.
See there. It's going to get to the Vatican.
Go
ahead, Al.
All right, go back to 3 Maccabees. It's chapter 1.
Come on. 3 Maccabees, chapter 1. Yeah. Man, I'm telling you.
Chapter 1, verse 3.
The whole chapter 1.
I know, but chapter 1, verse 3.
You're going to hit that one too. Yeah.
Where I was already at.
You was there. Oh, my God. You was there. I'm sorry, young fella.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Here we go.
Keep it straight, Al.
Now, Philopater, on learning from those who came back that Antiochus had made himself master of the places which belonged to himself.
Master of the places he belonged to. Antioch.
Yes.
Write it down, highlight it, don't tear it out. Go ahead. Al.
Sent orders to all his footmen and horsemen, took with him his sister Arsinoe, and marched as far as the parts of Raphia, where Antiochus and his forces encamped. And one Theodotus, intending to carry out his design, took with him the bravest of the armed men who been before committed to his trust by Ptolemy, and got through at night to the tent of Ptolemy to kill him on his own responsibility, and so to end the war. But Dositheus, called the son of Dremulus, by birth a Yahudi, afterward a renegade from the Torah and observances of his country, conveyed Ptolemy away and made an obscure person lie down in his stead in the tent. It befell this man to receive the fate which was meant for the other. A fierce battle then took place, and the men of Antioch prevailing, Arsinoe continually went up and down the ranks, and with disheveled hair, with tears and entreaties, begged the soldiers to fight manfully for themselves, their children and women, and promised that if they proved conquerors, she would give them 2 minae of gold apiece. It thus fell out that their enemies were defeated in hand-to-hand encounter, and that many of them were taken prisoners. Having vanquished this attempt, the king then decided to proceed to the neighboring cities and encourage them. By doing this and making donations to their temples, he inspired his subjects with confidence. The Yahudim sent some of their council and of the elders to him, the greetings, great guest gifts, and congratulations of the past bestowed by them, filled him with greater eagerness to visit their city. Having arrived at Jerusalem, sacrificed and offered thanks offerings to the great Elohim, and done whatsoever else was suitable to the sanctity of the place, and entered the inner court. He was so struck with the magnificence of the place, and so wondered at the orderly arrangements of the temple, that he considered entering the sanctuary itself. Now remember Deuteronomy 17 now, the king, talking about the 2 kings now. And when they told him that this was not permissible, none of the nation, no, nor even the priests in general, but only the supreme high priest of all, he only once in a year being allowed to go in, he would by no means give away. Then they read the Torah to him, but he persisted in obtruding himself, exclaiming that he ought to be, that he ought to be allowed, and saying, be it that they were deprived of this honor, I ought not to be. And he put the question, why When he entered our temple, none of the priests who were present forbade him. He was thoroughly answered by someone that he did wrong to boast of this. Well, since I have done this, said he, be the cause what it may. Shall I not enter with or without your consent? And when the priests fell down in their sacred vestments, imploring the great Elohim to come and help in time of need, and to avert the violence of the fierce aggressor, and when they filled the temple with lamentations and tears, then those who had been left behind in the city were scared, rushed forth, uncertain of the event. Virgins who had been shut up within their chambers came out with their mothers, scattering dust and ashes on their heads, filling the streets with outcries. Women, but recently separated off, left their bridal chambers.
This is all Yeshayahu and Yirmiyahu being fulfilled, though, by the way. All fulfilled in the scripture.
Left reserved that fitted them and ran about the city in a disorderly manner. Newborn babies were deserted by their mothers or nurses who had waited upon them. Some here, some there, in houses, in fields. These now, with an order which could not be checked, swarmed into Al-Ayyan's temple. Various were the prayers offered up by those who assembled in this place on account of the unconditioned attempt of the king. Along with these, there were some of the citizens who took courage and would not submit to his obstinacy and his intention of carrying out his purpose, calling out to arms and to die bravely in defense of the Torah of the fathers. They created a great uproar in the place, and were with difficulty brought back by the aides and the elders to the station of prayer which they had occupied before. During this time, those two kept on praying. The elders who surrounded the king strove in many ways to divert his haughty mind from the design which he had formed. He, in his hardened mood, insensible to all persuasion, was going onward with the view of carrying out this design. Yet even his own officers, when they saw this, joined the Yahudim and appealed to him who had all power to aid in the present crisis, and not wink at such overweening iniquity. Such was the frequency and the vehemency of cries of the simple crowd that an indescribable noise ensued. No, not the men only, but the very walls and floors to sound forth, all things preferring desolation rather than to see the place defiled. And this king came in, seeing how great the temple was that we had. He wanted to go and pretty much just take over. Now, in today's time, the temple is here. We're the temple now. So what they have, what Christianity has allowed in relation to this story, they have allowed a king to come into their temple. They has looked at what was laid before us, what we got, our history, our book. He liked what he see, but he came into the temple to take over. JC is the king. Our king was YAHUAH, right. King of all kings. Right. But JC is the king who they allowed to come into a temple to take over what YAHUAH had already laid for. This is our king versus their king. Now, if you continue to read on the story, it gets real interesting. The king pretty much took over, and he pretty much put out a decree that the Yahudim race was going to be pretty much deliberated. He was going to have them killed. But it was 3 instances, and every time YAHUAH stepped in forth. Earlier, I talked about how the slaves that pretty much gave in and came off the ships. But our people here in every system. There was one instance he had told the man to get all the elephants, get them drunk on wine and frankincense, so they can pretty much have just run over the people. It was just kill them that way. But every time YAHUAH had stepped into their place, they stood up and said, "I'm grateful for the righteousness of the Torah. I believe in YAHUAH," and every time he came through for them. So it's a good story to read. I was just trying to point out the differences in the king. Right. How he tells us what kind of king to put forth. Yahushua is our king. Right. But then they got a king that pretty much want what we have here, but want to make it his own thing. Right. Jason in the place and all that matter. Because Christians say, well, we got the same book. We got the same. But why is it when you always know Sabbath, every week, you eat them feasts don't matter. You celebrate this. So the deity was put in for a reason. Psalms 83. They have pretty much want to wipe out Yahshua from being a nation. Right. They want to take away our history. They want to take away true history, that is, and say it's theirs. They want to take away our book and say it's theirs. Right. And they want to take away our deities and put theirs in there. That's good. That's what it's all about.
And have they deity JC come destroy the law, mean old YAHUAH.
Right.
Yeah. And see, it's the meaning. Like you said, what's a great point is like the temple. This is the temple now, and then they eat the swine. They sacrifice pig in your temple,
Right.
just like they did in Maccabees.
Yeah.
Right.
So you eating that swine is a sacrifice on your altar.
Freely.
On your heart.
Freely.
So it's
Yeah, you are.
the battle is there.
Yeah.
And so let's go to Daniel 8. My child, man, she's right on it.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like
Daniel 8.
this JC was given to the slaves.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they were taught.
Right.
Right.
And they taught it to us.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
This is all we ever knew.
That's right.
We thought we were growing up serving who we were supposed to serve. We were
Right.
righteous. Now when you come into the awakening and you look at these people, how they simply refuse to accept the truth, it makes you feel even more lost.
Right.
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 Because you can't help them. They don't want your help. They want to
That's good.
stay under a false god.
And they love it because see, like the pastor told us, he said, "You telling us we've been wrong for 150 years?"
Right.
And when we told him, "Yeah," he sat back. He like you could tell he like, "Man, we've been wrong all this time." And so this is what ties that into. But what about grandma?
Yeah.
What about great grandma?
Right. Right.
What about granddad?
Sir.
The attachment of the love that you had for that family member being in a place of torment for disobedience is what causes you to rebel against the truth. Because you like, and that's why Yahuwah should say, "Let the dead bury the dead." Don't be concerned with them because your concern for them make you lawless, and then you'll end up in the same place when you got a hope to get out. Yes, ma'am.
It makes me think of why would we believe that someone who hates us wants us to do well, and people don't, and people they don't look at that what they're thinking of. And I remember having this mentality once before too, and it made me mad when I seen it recently. This man put on his Facebook page, he said, "Have y'all ever seen them Africans over there?" He said, "They so ugly." He said, "If it wasn't for the white man coming in and mixing with us, we wouldn't look good." I didn't have that mentality. I had this mentality right here of, thank goodness that they came and got us, because had they not gotten us, we wouldn't have known JC. And that's the thing that we have been taught. And the thing about it is that we have been taught to hate ourselves so much that we don't realize that Yahuwah had a plan for us. He had us. We were the original people. And once you find that out, when you tell people this, when you tell us this, we are the hardest people to convince this. Because sometimes you can tell a white person this, and they are fine with, "Oh, wow, that makes sense." But when you tell us, what do you mean? And then I hate the word nappy. And so I always hear us say, "Oh, look at this, we are so nappy-headed." So you mean to tell me that us nappy-headed, good for nothing, ugly people have this? And I'm like, what is wrong with you? We are beautiful people. And if you understand that Yahuwah created us, and he created us for a purpose, and you understand that he created us to be able to flourish and to be the ruler of this world, actually. And by him, when we keep his commands, then you understand we are a powerful people. But until then, we are brainwashed to believe that we are nothing. And they have kept us to believe this. And then, exactly, a very strong delusion. And they keep on doing it by the movies, by the music. And then here we are, glorifying, and I'm not bringing it back, but I'm bringing it back.
Bring it up.
We sitting up here loving the fact that we got this voodoo movie out about us.
The Black Panther.
Yes, and we sitting up here like, "Oh, that's great, that's wonderful." That's about us, but it's not about us. How could it be about us when it's about voodoo? And it's about a whole different people. And then the same people who are going out here glorifying this movie are the same people who was fighting and hating against Comets before. So how do you hate them before, but now you glorifying and loving that movie? You can't have both.
Right.
It got to be
the thing that put us up in the curse.
See,
go ahead, Tracy had something. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I think Tracy had something too.
When you say that we ain't the people and it all traces back, you got to think, okay, during slavery, when they sold our children off, what was the reason for them selling our children off? Because it wouldn't keep us in line. You want to keep us in line, keep our kids.
Come on now.
So why did they sell your kids off? There's only one explanation.
And they moved the older.
One generation.
They moved the older away who knew. That's
it.
That's it. Dead on.
That's what I was going to talk
about. And they had to
fulfill
scripture, because he said that your children are going to be sold off.
No. The point that I was making is not to put Aki Lewis on, on the front seat. I was going, how does this feel to you? Because when I look at you, it's a Baruch from Yahuwah to see you in my presence, to give me strength to carry on for you to be your age, right? And to walk in this truth, to wake up and to walk in the truth, to strip the things of that Christianity, like you say, all we knew was JC when we came from the slavery. I just wanted, to say, how do you feel about that?
I feel cheated. I feel like so much has been taken away from me. I've lost so many, and I'm going to say blessings because that would be accepted better. I could have been Baruch so many times, and because of my disobedience, because of lack of knowledge, I've lost so much. And I feel like it's impossible to catch up. The only way I will ever be caught up is when I stand before him and he rewards me.
Man, hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Wow.
Man, that's powerful.
Wow.
That's powerful. Go ahead, Aggie.
Yeah, I was just going to touch on what Steph was talking about. It just goes to show you that our people as a whole don't really want our true heritage, don't really want what YAHUAH really want to give us, because even with this movie coming out, you need to see all the foolery, how much our people jump on board and still on board today to it, going all out over it. It's just going to show you that we don't know who we are as a people, right? Because we want to grab something. We just looking for something to grab hold to. Right. So Black Panther come out and we thinking it is something we can hold to. Oh, that's our culture. Oh, that's our history. It just going to show you that we as a people don't know who we are. Right. And not only do we not know who we are, when we give them who we are, they don't want that.
That's right.
We don't want YAHUAH. We don't want who he is. We want JC. Because even if you tell them, well, that's not his name. This is how his name is Yahushua. Well, it translate to this and it translate to that, so it's really all the same. But why you calling them that though? Right. Why you choose the JC translation of all other translations to use?
Come on.
See there?
Yeah. See, we don't want YAHUAH.
Why you choose the nickname?
We don't want Yahushua. Yeah. They want JC, and they want a lost religion.
You won't choose the authentic.
Exactly.
Huh? That's if you knew that's the authentic, why would you want to?
Watch this. Right. Christianity is, I got it right there. Christianity is I want to slide by religion. Yeah. I want to just slide by. What can I do to just slide by? Yeah. Will this send me to the pit? If
I can just be a donkey.
It's a slide through. Yeah. I want to do all I can do to just slide through. So
why? The ruach of the person they accepted. He accepted him on his deathbed. Constantine.
Exactly.
It's the ruach of your true Elohim. Right. Constantine is pretty much the deity of Christianity. Right. So if he accepted what he knows to be the truth on his deathbed, you got the same spirit as your father do. Exactly. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you had the white man giving you JC, which is your culture, and then you have the white man again giving you the Black Panther,
the Jew.
And then here you go, exactly. And that's so here you go. He's defined for you before your religion. Now he defined for you again your culture. When we need to go ahead and get into the word and figure out who we are. For real, we just open the word. And then we keep telling them that. Open the word and you'll find out who you really are.
Let me say, Yehuda and them took rocks and broke them on their back. They the biggest superheroes. Yeah. Naphtali was a gazelle. That boy could run.
Like jumping on
walls. All the book tells us about the heroes of this book.
Right.
Malek Daoud, who they call King David, took down giants in his time. As a small man. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. They got all these superheroes in this book, but you want to go to Wakanda. But then in the same breath, turn around and say you don't like and you hate Ashkenazi Jews. You hate the Jew, but it was the Jew who gave you Wakanda. Man, this is just the strong delusion happening. Let's go to Daniel. It's all the same thing. You still don't know who you are, so now you are Wakandanite.
Man.
You know what's this? You and all your black power, blackness, knowledge knows, and then your pastor in the Christian church who you pointing the finger at, dressed up like black
on the throne. Jamal Bryan.
So you got the same mind still. That's the same mind. How can two walk together as they begin? That boy in Mount River dressed like that. All of them dressed like that. How can two walk together except they agree? Watch this. In order for that to happen on February 16, 2018, when Black Panther dropped, the same mind that was in you was in that pastor to go watch a movie thinking he is Black Panther, thinking he of Wakanda. But then you want to turn a finger and rebuke him for being a fool for celebrating Valentine's Day. That's hypocrisy at the highest level. Daniel 8.
Daniel 8.
15.
Daniel.
And it came to pass when Daniel, they talk about these Daniel fasts. That is not a fast. If you eating fruit and vegetables and all this, that is not a fast. A zoom or a fast in the Bible is no food. Huh? They even had sprinkles of swine in them at some time, didn't they?
Breakfast pork chop.
Lean pork chop.
Breakfast pork
We
chop.
putting it out there. That's not a Daniel fast.
Breakfast they had it.
I was going to say, well, if that's the case, you got to think about it. Daniel never ate meat because from the beginning, when you first read in Daniel 1, he didn't eat meat. He only ate the he rejected from the beginning. So, and then later on, when he had to do that 21-day thing, it was only ate bitter herbs.
Right. It was bitter.
Bitter.
Exactly. He ate bitter herbs. But he ate vegetables.
Because the word meat and food are interchangeable in the King James.
Right.
You think it's physical like meat, flesh of animals, but it's food.
Right.
And he did not eat any choice food. Why? Because he was facing towards Jerusalem for his Torahless people.
Right. Wow. Not no stone.
And you doing a Daniel first of the
and you still wanting the Torahless.
Pull it.
You are making
how you going to do a fast of lawlessness?
You are making a mockery of Daniel, who was a righteous prophet, whose name means my judge is Elohim, by doing a Daniel false flag fast.
Lawless. Daniel
what?
Fast. A lawless flag.
False flag fast. A lawless flag fast.
A lawless Daniel false flag fast.
Okay, I ain't gonna cut him.
Fast.
I'm trying to be careful. Okay, I, Daniel, had seen the vision and sought for the meaning, and behold, stood before me the appearance of a man, and I heard the man's voice between the banks of Ulai, which called, and he said, Gabriel, make this man, YAHUAH is speaking to Gabriel, make this man understand the vision. So he came near where I stood. And ain't this the same Gabriel who came to Miriam and told her that YAHUAH is coming in the form?
Right.
Same one who spoke to Yahusha and told him, don't take fear to take Miriam as your Asha.
His name should
Man,
be told.
among you all, Yahusha. YAHUAH is salvation. Make this man to understand the vision. 17. So he came near and I stood. And when he came, I was afraid and fell upon my face. But he said unto me, understand, O son of Adam, for at this time the end shall be the vision. The time of the end shall be the vision. This is the same thing like YAHUAH got. It's not revelation. It's Hazan, which means vision. Now, as he was speaking with me, I was in a deep sleep on my face towards the ground. But he touched me and stood me upright. And he said, behold, I will make you know what will be in the last end. Boy, shall be of the indignation. The last end of what is the indignation? That is the wrath of YAHUAH. Do you understand what's going on? For at the time appointed, the end shall be. The ram which you saw having two horns, it breaks it down. Read that later when you get a chance. Are the kings of Madai and Persia. And the rough goat is the king of Yavan, or the Greek. The Greek. And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. Now, with that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for it, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. And in the latter time of his kingdom, when the transgressors, that means you're transgressing the law.
Right.
Are come to the full.
Yep.
That means the whole world is at full capacity. You at 2.4 billion right now. Think about that.
That's right.
The king of fierce countenance. Wait, you were sent to a nation of fierce countenance. The king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences. That's mysteries. Shall stand up. His power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. He shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and Kadesh people. That's Yahshar'alym. And through his policy, see, this political. Through his policy, he shall cause craft. That's witchcraft, by the way. Look it up. You check into it. Craft to prosper by his hand. He will be a man of wizardry. That's why they promoting all these witchcraft movies. Doctor Strange will have Brother Voodoo in it. Black Panther might be sprinkled in there too for your enjoyment. And since it's just a movie. Craft to prosper in his hand. He shall magnify himself in his heart. That's Hashatan. We see that in Isaiah 14. Because you have said, in your heart, I shall be like the Most High. And by peace shall he destroy many. Did he say war?
No.
By peace on earth.
Where's the love?
Goodwill towards men. Chris,
where's the
One
love?
came with peace, one came with
Shalom.
sword.
he may also stand up against the prince of princes. That's Yahuwah. Stand up against the prince of princes. But he shall be broken without hand. Because he's going to smite him with his mouth. And the vision of the evening and the morning. That's the day right there. Which was told is true. Wherefore shut up the vision. For there shall be many days. And I, Daniel, fainted and was sick of certain days. I rose up and did out the king's business. And I was astonished at the vision, but none understood it. Let me find this other part I want to show you. And what he gonna do. Man, watch this. Go to 10. Let me see 10. Don't touch me. I yell. Let me show you something. Man, it's where he'll tear down that which is true, if y'all can find it right quick. It says he shall tear down that which is true. I want to say it's 12, but it ain't 12. Flatteries, captivity. Give me a second. If you can find, he'll tear down that which is true. And give me a second. I'm gonna show you something in that. But while I'm right there, let me go to Revelations 3, I believe it is. I'll show you. Same thing. And the last kingdom is Rome. The same thing in the same verses. Tear down that which is true. But let me find this right here. All right, this is Revelations 2 and 12. Listen to this. Now, I told you this is vision. This Hazan means vision. And to the angel of the called out assembly in Pergamos. Underline that. Underline Pergamos. Write and say these things which he who has a sharp sword with two edges. Remember, he speaks with a two-edged sword. Remember, he said the Prince of Princes is going to destroy this Antipas without hands.
Without hands.
It's in his mouth. I know your works and where you dwell, even where Satan's throne is or seat is. And you hold fast my name and have not denied my belief, even in those days where Antipas, my faithful martyr, who was slain among you, where Satan dwells. Now listen to this. I'm going to break that down real quick. Do you know? Look it up. Pergamon. Look up Perganon. Perganon or Pergamon is the same place. It's just Pergamos. That is the original birthplace of the Olympics.
Yep.
Where Satan's seat is. If you look up Satan's throne in Pergamos, you will find the altar of Zeus.
Right. Didn't Obama build one?
Obama built one too.
Sure did.
But he sits on this altar of Zeus. Satan's throne. Satan is Zeus in this context. And when you look up that, his martyr Antipas was in that city. And those in that city were worshipers of the healing deity Asclepios. Asclepios, you can see him on your ambulances and in your hospitals now. It is two serpents wrapped around a staff with wings. That is the symbol of Asclepios, the snake hill. They would lay in these places. This is history. You can look it up. They would lay in these places and let all these snakes crawl across their body for healing. Antipas was in that city preaching YAHUAH. Demons. This is written and recorded that demons came to the followers of Asclepios and they told them that Antipas was in the city. So they went to him and commanded him not to preach the Basora or good news of YAHUAH ever again.
Ever again.
He refused, so they tied him hand and feet and they stuck him in a giant bull. And they roasted him alive. And through the cries of him roasting, you could hear through the bull sounds like the bull was making sounds, and they worshipped the bull. right here in Revelations 2, he says his faithful or loyal martyr Antipas, who was killed where Satan's throne is. It was the birthplace of the first Olympics. Now, we as Hebrews should not be watching the Olympics.
Nope.
You had muscular Hebrew a couple of years ago that everybody was rooting for. I think Gabby Douglas had some Hebrew on her. Everybody got excited. What I'm excited for, and she's doing a vault or whatever she did, a race, gymnastics to the deities of Mount Olympus. That's where the Olympics come from. Is our blackness so important to us that we will worship false deities for the sake of melanin?
For the sake of melanin.
You gotta ask yourself that.
Yeah.
There was another guy. He had zigzag on. He had fringes around. He had the fringes. He didn't have the true zigzag. He was a boxer.
Yeah.
They was excited. Oh, we waking up. He fighting in the Olympics. He is fighting for Zeus. Well, Satan's seat originally existed in Pergamos. This is where it was. Zeus is the deity of Rome. That's why I went there. Jupiter is, Google St. Peter's Basilica. You will see the image or statue of who they call St. Peter at the Vatican. It's so many kisses on his feet because he sits on this great throne. There is so many kisses on this deity's feet that it has worn away his toes. Because people kiss it. They will confirm to you that they took that place where the Vatican sits on is called the Hill of Sorcery. It sits on the 7 hills of Rome. And they said that they adopted that place where that image that was originally Zeus and Jupiter. They named it Peter. But watch this. Before they named it Peter, because people were catching on to him, they say now that their ministry is through the Apostle Peter. But initially, they said their ministry was through the bloodline of Jesus Christ. They were his children. That's why Dan Brown came out with the Da Vinci Code. They know this right here. So when you see Jupiter, that whole place in the Vatican is dedicated to this enemy of Yahushua right here. That sits on the throne. This is not made up. Did anybody find out they would tear down the truth? Did you find that? Anybody find it? All these preachers in
What
here.
are you looking for? Like, what is the context?
They was wanting to listen to this one right here.
Yeah.
This message.
I got it.
They couldn't. It's too
I
good.
believe
The
it's
message is
Daniel
too good.
Daniel 7 and
Yeah, I think it's
25.
Daniel 7.
I don't know if that's what you're looking for, but
Well, just read it out, man. Read.
are we talking about the 10 horns?
No, I'm talking about the one that's coming. Yeah.
Okay. And he shall speak great words against Al-Ayan, and shall wear out the Kadashim of El-Ayan, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his
That's it. Where were you at?
7
and 25.
Okay.
Daniel 7?
Yeah.
25.
Next page, young fellow.
No, I know, but I see something right here.
Okay.
I'm going to 7:25. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I'll read it, baby. Thank you. So you did find it.
I'll read it, baby. Thank you.
I appreciate it. This whole thing in Daniel 7, but I didn't want to go there, because it's so much to cover, but we'll pick up. But, man, bro. Let's go. It's so much to cover. But anyway, 25. He shall speak great words. Well, let me go up. 23. Thus he said that the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth. If you do the study of this, it says, he who has wisdom, let him calculate. When Nebuchadnezzar built the kingdom, or that statue he built, it was 4 kingdoms. The last kingdom was Rome. The 4th kingdom is Rome, mingled with deities and clay, because it said it mingled with the seed of men. So thus says the 4th beast shall be the 4th kingdom. That's Rome. That's Kittim upon the earth. It shall be diverse from all other kingdoms and shall devour the whole earth. It's at 2/3 right now.
That's right.
Christianity is at 2/3. The whole earth. And shall tread it down and break it in pieces. That's why he said it couldn't stay together. It was fighting each other. Okay. And the 10 horns out of the kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise. And they shall arise after them. And they shall be diverse from the first. And he shall subdue 3 kings. Now watch this. Daniel gives us something right there. Do you know that Mardi Gras is called 3 Kings Day? It is the 3 parts of Jesus Christ.
Ain't that something?
If you don't believe me, go get you a king cake. Why do you think it's called a king cake? And if you cut it, you will find a baby. If you find a baby in one of those cakes, that is sweet Jesus. You have luck for the rest of the year. If you don't believe it, look it up. He talks about 3 kings. The 3 king cakes is the 3 names of who they call JC. Isa ben Maryam, that the Islam serve. Jesus Christ and Jesus. 3 kings is 1 king. It's a trinity. That's why Trinity is evil. Because YAHUAH says, Shema Yahshar'alym, YAHUAH Yahuwah Akkad. Here in God, oh Yahshar'alym, YAHUAH Yahshar'alym, he's one. Watch this, man. Come on. Thank you, Steph, for finding this for me. He shall speak great words against all young. Why is it saying he shall speak? Because the man is indwelling all the people who serve him. This anti-Mashiach or anti-Christ that we talking about is Jesus Christ.
Right.
I'm going to show you something. Yes, ma'am.
I was going to say he's also in Islam. So there you go.
There you go. We're going to jump to that. That's their sister religion.
Okay.
Isa ben Maryam is Jesus Christ. The 3 kings. Come on. Speaking words against the Most High, and shall wear out the kedushin of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. Did you not read the Constantine Creed? You changed times and laws. Whose laws? Yahweh's laws. That's why you got pastors preaching against the law and the feast. And they shall be given in his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. Boy, that's so deep right there. 26. 7:26 now. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away dominion to consume and destroy it unto the end. And the kingdom and the dominion and greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the Kedushin of the Most High. Meaning it's going to be eradicated and we going to get the kingdom.
Right.
Whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom. His dominions shall serve and obey him. Hitherto, this is the end of the matter. As for me, Daniel, my conjugations have troubled me. My countenance changed, and I kept the matter in my heart. Now pay attention. I'm finna finish up for the sake of time. Let's go to Matthew 13. You'll understand this now. You are not saved right now. Let's go to Matthew, I said 13, 24, I'm sorry. 24, listen to this. He knew this. Y'all got to understand. If he knows all things, he knows what he told Daniel. Right. And Yahushua went out, 24:1, and departed from the temple. And his Talmudim came to him to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Amen, I say unto you, there shall be not one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Now, how do you get a wailing wall then? The walls are standing, and they kiss it on praying to it. If the stones are thrown down, why you ain't got wailing rocks? They liar, man. And he sat up on the Mount of Olives, and the Talmudim came to him privately. Tell us, listen to this. What shall these things be? First question. And what shall be the sign of your coming? Second question. And what of the end of the world? 3 different questions. Pastors get this all screwed up. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and shall deceive many. Stop right there. He is saying that people are going to come as Hebrew Israelites. Abaryt Yahshar'alym, repping his name and deceive many. You see that? See, people think that their name is JC. See there? They coming in JC name and deceiving many. No, he said people are going to come in his name and deceive many. Witchcraft is what that is. Pulling them away from the Torah. Watch this. And you shall have wars and rumors of wars. See that you not be troubled, for these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So the first thing he gives you is people going to try to use my name the ancient way, because that's what you see pastors doing too. Right. That's why they're going into the Yeshua.
Yeah.
See, they're trying to find a variation of his name and continue to deceive.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yahweh and all that stuff. They using forms of his name to twist them and deceive people.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But that's not his name. Man, come on, man. We finna go. Come on, man. Hear rumors of wars. See that you not be troubled. For all these things will come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, pestilences, in diverse places. We haven't seen all this. These are the beginning. That ain't even all of it yet. The beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up. Who? The same people trying to twist and flip the names. They shall deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Who really hate us? They hate us, the ones who call him Yahushua.
Right.
They don't hate people who call him JC. No. Catholic priests come here and preach in your churches around here. Don't fall for that lie. Right. They hating us. Then many shall be offended. You? Those who serve the demon of Gaul. And you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And they shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, churches, and shall deceive many. And because of the transgression of the Torah, King James says, because iniquity shall abound. But it's because of the transgression of the law. Right. The Torah, what YAHUAH gave. Exactly. That's why you have so many people preaching against it. These are the false prophets Yahushua seen. You think he gonna let you in his kingdom and he told you about the Torah standing and you say it don't matter no more? Yeah. YAHUAH God, Yahuwah rebuke you. So because of the transgression of the Torah shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure to the end, remember he just showed Daniel the end of all things. Not now. He that shall endure to the end, the same shall be what? So how you saved now? Yeah. Pastor almost ran me over one time. Oh, I'm saved, bro. I'm saved. And this Basora, this good news of the kingdom shall be preached to the world as a witness unto all nations. Listen to this. And you shall see the end come. And when you therefore see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel, the prophet, he seen the beast that we see. Right. Now, you see, Yahushua seen, and he told you what Daniel seen. Stand in the Kadesh place, the holy place. You see this? It's exactly what you seen in Maccabees. Now the holy place now is our bodies. Boy. Trap JC in your heart. He so reads, let him understand. Remember, I showed you YAHUAH said, he who has wisdom, let him understand the calculation and the symbol of a man. It's tying it all together. Then let them in YAHUAH free to the mountains. Those within the housetop come down. I want you to pay attention to this. And anything out of the house. Neither let them which is in the field return back in his clothes. Woe to them who are with child and who give suck in those days, meaning breastfeed. Now pay attention to this. But pray that your flight, your escape, be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath.
I thought the Sabbath was done away with.
Mama, knock my old glasses off. If the Sabbath is gone, why am I speaking in time, telling you, please pray that your escape, your flight, don't be in the winter or the Shabbat. But you just say they changed the Shabbat. But in Yahushua's eyes,
tell me why. You're supposed to have a long journey.
Right, not supposed to do a long journey on the Shabbat. So you need to be praying that at the time of this hitting, you're not breaking Shabbat. Right. For there shall be great tribulation, such as not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. Now, if he's talking about end time, that means the Sabbath is still eternal. Yahushua said it right there. Watch this. But except those days be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. For the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. If they say lo, listen to this. If any man say lo, here is Mashiach. Here's the Christ. Yeah. That's a translation now.
Here is Christ.
Or there, believe it not.
Believe it not.
For there shall arise false Mashiach, or a false Messiah. There shall arise false messiahs, both a bunch of them, and false prophets prophets to lead you to false messiah.
Yeah.
See, now he's talking about some stuff that's going on in this time. Look at it. See there? And shall show great signs and wonders. Meaning they gonna have power.
Right.
Insomuch, if it was possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Listen to this. Behold, I've told you before. Wherefore they say, behold, he is in the desert. Isa ben Maryam. See that? He is in the desert. Do not go forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers. What Vatican got? Secret chambers. That's what they call it too. The city of necropolis. Believe it not. For as lightning comes out of the east and shines even unto the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Adam be. For wheresoever, listen to this right here. He gave me this, boy, I fell out. For wheresoever the carcass is, there the eagles will be gathered also. I used to think in Christianity that it's in the skies. No, in Revelation 18, he says he brings a feast for the birds to feast on the carcasses when he comes. Every unclean bird.
Unclean bird.
So it's still unclean. Yeah. So he says when he comes, for where the carcass is, that's where the eagles will be gathered also. He is going to bring all the birds of the earth, even your precious eagle, Americans. And he going to feast on y'all.
Unclean bird.
Ain't that something?
He's unclean. He ain't clean nothing.
Right. Man, I can keep going, but I'm done on this. Thessalonians. 2 Thessalonians. Right here. Oh, my goodness. 2 Thessalonians. And I'm done. And it's going to be a part 3 because we ain't even touched it.
You keep talking about part 3, you keep hitting with that.
Man. The second part of part 2.
Ain't nobody know who
the second part of part 2.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, the second part of part 2.
The second part of part 2.
2 Thessalonians. I'm done after this. Listen to this. Man, bro. All this is one scroll, so it's hard to break it up. But 2 Thessalonians 2. Therefore you are inexcusable, O man, whosoever you are that judge. For wherever you judge another, you condemn yourself. For you that judge do the same thing. He's not telling you not to judge.
You're not in
Oh, Rob, I'm in Romans. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you was real.
Okay, sorry.
Got it wrong.
Okay. 2 Thessalonians 2. I was there too. Second, my tab.
You was with him.
Yeah, I trust him. Tab. 2 Thessalonians 2. 2 and 1. I'll read right loud. Now, we see you, brother. Yeah. By the coming of our Adonai YAHUAH HaMashiach, and by our gathering together unto him, that you may not be soon shaken in mind or troubled, neither by ruach, nor by word, nor by book, as from us, as the day of YAHUAH is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except they come on falling away first. Stop. People will teach that like they falling out of Christianity.
Right.
But Christianity is the falling away.
Right.
It is the essence of falling away. Falling away from what? Torah.
Right.
So,
Old Testament only rules.
Right. That day is not come.
Them too.
But there's a falling away first. So he's saying it ain't gonna happen. 2.4 million people plus now with the Black Panther Hebrew.
More than that, how they even come up with that number?
And that man of crime be revealed.
More than that.
You right.
Probably more than that.
Yeah, because everybody don't keep
everybody don't keep that up.
I know.
And that man of crime be revealed, the son of perdition. Now watch this. Belial is the word in Abaryt. The son of Belial is the son of the devil.
Yes.
You understand? And I remember there's a singer named Belial. That boy used to have some fresh lyrics. Called himself Belial. He out there promoting Erykah Badu right now. Son of the devil. The son of the devil. The son of perdition. Who opposes, this is what Daniel seen, this is what Yahushua seen. Who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called Elohim. Or that is worship. Why is he doing that? He has the spirit of his father, the devil, in him, exalting himself up above everything called Elohim. Jesus is the name above all names.
See there?
See there? That's what they lie and say to you, right?
Right. What verse that is?
Himself all that is called Yah, that is worship. So as Yah, he sits in the temple of Yahuwah, showing himself that he is Yahuwah. Now let me tell you something about the Holy Ghost. The Son goes. Holy is the Son. I broke that down before. Ghost is an apparition. When you accept or catch the Holy Ghost in terror. That's why I tell people, renounce the Holy Ghost and accept the Ruach HaKodesh.
Living.
Right, the living water. When you have put him in your body, you have put him in the temple of your heart. That's why people say you have to accept Jesus in your heart. They don't say stomach. They don't say lungs. They put him in the temple as Yahuwah. So you go and you do this whole ceremony of baptism, sit in the seat. Don't they sit out the seats? They sit out the thrones. You sit down and you accept JC in your inner man.
As the throne of your heart.
As the king.
And he sits in the temple of Yahuwah. Who created that temple?
Yahuwah.
Who wants to be there?
Yahuwah. But who did you put there?
Jesus Christ.
See there?
Or Isus Horus Krishna. Jesus H. Christ. They know that's what his name is. How you think the H always been there? Right. Jesus H. Christ.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, this is crazy. Showing himself that he is Yahuwah. Remember ye not that when I was with you, I told you these things? So that means Paul even knew this was coming. Saying him like he introduced you to Christ.
Right.
And you now know that listen to this. And you not know what withholds that he might be revealed in his time. So their time, it was the Ruach HaKodesh that's holding back the revelation of JC.
Right.
He was coming through all kinds of men. Nero, Constantine, Julius Caesar, everything. But the Ruach was holding back so people be saved. Pay attention, man. Listen. For the mystery of lawlessness does already work. It's a mystery that people don't want to get to keep the law. It was happening in his time. Only he who now lets will let. Remember I told you that King James word for let means to restrain. So the Ruach is restraining his coming. Boy. Until he be taken out of the way. Meaning the Ruach leaves. You get what I'm saying? Is removed. And here you go. And then shall the lawless one be revealed. Adonai Yahushua shall consume with the ruach of his mouth. Remember, Daniel said he shall be destroyed without hands. Same story. Same. It's going to line up. It's Yahuwah. And shall destroy with the brightness of the coming. Now pay attention. Meaning right now, the ruach is keeping him from taking over the whole world. That's why you got 2/3 Christians. The ruach is holding back, giving us a chance to wake up. Man, if y'all don't get, you should be happy, excited.
The squeeze, you know how stuff close down,
right?
And you got to squeeze through there before it's shit.
He holding back the son of Belial or the son of perdition, and he's allowing us to get the ruach for real, to find the truth for real. But watch this. As the brightness of his coming, he gonna be destroyed. So what's gonna happen is the ruach gonna say, "Okay, I'm done," and take us up to be changed in the air. Not in the Shemayim, in the rapture. None of that foolishness. We're going to be changed in the air to come down with him to eradicate. That's why in Revelation 9, it says death runs from them. They can't die. Why? Because you're going to feel the fullness of the wrath of indignation. You had your chance. So right now, the Ruach is waking people up and allowing the fullness of deception to happen. Let me finish. I'm going to show you.
You're going to see it.
Watch this. He shall do it with the brightness of his coming. This is 2 and 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power, signs, and lying wonders. He gonna work in full power. That's why people finna see right now, JC in them churches, they finna see all kind of stuff going. That's why the matriarch got people over there crying diamonds. Don't. You finna see stuff in churches like never before. It's the Ruach that's giving you this warning right now to lead Christianity. If you don't do it, that's on you. Watch this. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness. Unrighteousness is those who don't keep the Torah, because the Torah is the righteousness. In them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth. What is truth? Psalm 119. It is the Torah. Your word is truth. They receive not, they will not receive the Torah. They keep rejecting it. What's this? That they might be saved.
That they might be saved.
The man came to Yahushua and said, "Good teacher, what must I do to be saved?" He said, what does the Torah say? He didn't say that.
He didn't say that.
He didn't say call his name.
He didn't say that.
He said, what does the Torah say? How does it read? Why would he do that if it's not salvation in it?
Right.
Wait, hold on, watch this. Let me finish this. And for this cause, Yah shall send them a strong delusion. YAHUAH shall send them a strong
He's
delusion.
sending something strong. It's going to be pretty strong.
Then he say, I'm the one that raised kings up. And I'm the one that knocks them down. Well, watch this. We go into it next time. But 1:4 and 7 says that because you have twisted the Torah, YAHUAH has allowed a great creation to be made. Talking about JC. I'm not even seeing it. And because of that, I'm going to rise up Satan in the form of a man so big and so deceptive, because you know throughout all this book, the law and the prophets exist. From the opening page of Genesis, of Abaryt, to the closing page of Revelation, the law and the prophets always is exalted.
Right.
Because it's YAHUAH's word. Okay, so since you say that's the devil, that's blaspheming the ruach hakodesh, by the way. To attribute or breathe by the ruach,
right,
and say it's of the devil, that's blaspheming the ruach that YAHUAH warned about.
That's right.
So because of that, I'm going to bring you a strong delusion.
You might believe a lie.
That you shall believe a lie, that they may also all might be damned. That's to the pit, lake of fire, who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness.
There it is.
Have pleasure in unrighteousness.
But we are bound to give thanks always to YAHUAH for you, and beloved brethren of YAHUAH, because from the beginning chose you to the salvation and sanctification of the ruach, not the Holy Ghost, and shall belief of the truth. That's the Torah. Whereunto he calls our good news, the sword of
our good news,
the kabod or esteem of our Adonai Yahushua Mashiach. Therefore, saying fast and keep the commandments
which ye have been taught.
Which you have been taught.
By word.
Wait a second. If the commandments is gone, why would he warn them to keep the commandments? Our word or our sefer?
Or our sefer.
Now, our Adonai, Yahushua HaMashiach himself, and YAHUAH, even our Father, has loved us and has given us everlasting consolation and good hope through Hasad, of favor. Comfort your hearts and establish you in every good work and work. We're going to go deeper later on. Good word and work.
More to come.
What's the side? What's the side?
Favor.
No. Him holding back the body.
Right.
That's the Hasad right there.
He give you time to change. We're going to keep going through this. The demon of Gaul. This is just part 2. You need to renounce Christianity. You need to take on and pray to YAHUAH about this. Don't go to JC with it. Because people say, I go pray. No, JC going to tell you a lie. He designed the lie. He's the son of lies. He is Satan in human physical form, whether he be black, or whether the picture you got up there got an afro perm, or he a white man, it's still JC and it's still a lie. You need to repent, you need to turn from it and go away from it. Pray us out, man. Pray to the people, man. Tell them,
Abaryt Yahweh, we thank you again for this day, this time of fellowship. Those who tuned in with us to study your word, we just pray, Father, that what was sent forth today will not fall on deaf ears, fall on good ground, 30, 60, 100 fold, Father, and make good seeds in your field. We pray, Father, that those who are maybe still stuck in Christianity, that may be still straddling the fence and just trying to find out what is true and what is false, that they will renounce Christianity. They will see this as true, that will pierce their ruach, their inner man, Father, to show them that this is the way, the truth, and the life. And there's only one way to come, and that's through you, Abba. And we just ask, Father, that you continue to keep us and hold us in perfect shalom. Let us continue to walk together, Father, in this narrow way. We already stated that Christianity is one of the major religion of this world today. And it's continually to spread. But that's not the narrow way. It's on the narrow way that you said a few will find. And we just ask, Father, you can keep us in the few number, that we may continue to be good stewardships of your word. And we barak you, Father, in the name of all names, YAHUAH, Yahushua. Amen.